All right, good morning, everyone. It is 10:30 a.m. Central Time where we are over in the AllBrands studio here in the Baton Rouge store, and this is day 3 of our Houston Quilt Festival coverage. This is our second full day. Yesterday was fantastic, so I cannot wait for you guys to see what we have coming up today. We have so much going on. We're gonna have Laurastar early this morning. We're gonna have So Steady coming after them, and a bunch of demos on some new and some brother machines that you've already seen before. So I am very, very excited for you all to come in and take a look and see what we've got today. So I wanted to pop in and tell everyone hello who is watching and commenting over in the chat. We've got Nilda who says, yay, yes, Nilda, I am so excited. So excited for day 3. Shirley Burling says, morning, Callie, from rainy Lockport, Illinois. I'll be listening while sewing for some craft shows I have coming up. That's great. It's really good to see you again, Shirley. Thank you so much for tuning in again today. Barbara Jones says, I thought I was going to get to festival 25 minutes ago and then my boss called, so I get to watch from home. Well, hey, that's why we're here, Joe. Just in case anything comes up, you can't make it. That's why we're here. And Phil Beck says, hello again. Another show to learn new things. Thanks, AllBrands. And we are so happy that we can help you learn and get all of the education that you need, even if you can't physically be in Houston. I'm really, really excited to be doing this. I'm so happy that you guys are enjoying this with me. Larry Christensen again is watching. Good morning, still in Kentucky. Gwen, me too. Gwen, I love so much about Quilt Fest. This has been such an exciting weekend already, and it's only day 3. We still have 2 more days left. Oh my gosh, we only have 2 more days left. Wow, time is flying. Mary Strong says, hello, everybody, checking in from South Carolina. Really great to see you, Mary. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got Deborah from Chesapeake, Virginia, and raining. A lot of people are going to get some rain. We're overcast here, but it's not rainy yet. Diane says, middle of the night here in Australia. Looking forward to today. Thank you so much for tuning in, Diane, all the way over in Australia. Cheers to you. We've got Gwen. Thank you for sharing. Yes, thank you, Gwen. Thank you for watching. We've got Cynthia Reynolds saying hello in the chat as well. We've got Shirley Horn watching from Independence, Oregon. Really great to see you, Shirley. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we've got Patricia watching from East Tennessee. Love watching your shows. Always learn something new. Well, that is the goal, Patricia. So I'm really happy that you are learning new things with us today. So guys, stay tuned. We have so much going on today. We have a lot. We have a packed schedule. Just a few things before we get started. Don't forget, you can rewatch all of the other days of the festival on our Facebook and YouTube channels, and head on over to allbrands.com/quiltfest for all of our specials. But now, you guys, I think it's time to go ahead and show our first demo. So I'm going to bring them on, and it's time to go.
Can we just go ahead and start? Okay. Okay, we're going to do a Laurastar demonstration for you piecers and quilters out there. So my name's Amanda Murphy. I'm a fabric designer and a pattern designer and a Bernina expert. You can tell by my mask. And I also write books, etc., about quilting, and I design templates. So I'm going to show you how I use the Laurastar system when I'm working. So one of the things that I love about this system, and it really is a system because you have, of course, the iron, but you also have the board that has a fan in it, etc. So it all works together. One of the things that I love is that the iron itself is very, very lightweight. So because they took the boiler out and they put it under the board. So when you're ironing yards and yards of fabric, and normally when I get fabric, I'm ironing like 200 or 300 yards at a time because I'm pre-washing all my fabrics. It's really easy to use the lightweight iron. So the boiler's under the board. We already have it preheated, and there's a water repository. And when I take this out, it's going to beep at me probably. But there's a filter in the water repository that will keep you from getting sediment in that boiler. And I change the filter. I iron a lot, so I do change the filter every few months. But you can use regular tap water in this system, so it's great. As far as the different features I use, normally, as I said, when I get my fabric, when I get yardage, I pre-wash all my fabrics. And then I take those fabrics and I dry them in the dryer until they're damp dry, and I take them over to the Laurastar. One of the things that's nice is you can iron multiple layers of fabric all at once. So you steam it. I'm using the Sense Steam feature right now. And as you go forward, you're steaming it, and then you're applying heat as you go back. And what's nice about this is you can have 4 or 5 layers of fabric, and it does it all at once. Now you'll notice we have the board that's sort of bubbling up. That's the fan that's blowing up. It's the fan feature. And this is how I would iron my yardage. So I fold my yardage at half and I iron it selvage to selvage using the sensing feature. Then I use it in my piecing. And one of my favorite things about piecing with the Laurastar is that I can turn on the vacuum mode and you'll see the ironing board like get sucked down. When I'm applying steam here, you can actually see under the board, it sucks the steam down. And like you guys, I have this, before I had the Laurastar, I have an ironing scour, right? One of the things I really like is because it sucks this steam down into the board, I can get my fingers really close to the iron tip. So if I'm opening up a seam, I can get really close. So I'm going to change it to a manual seam setting. And this is how I would piece. I would apply that steam, and I want you to see the steam. It's a lot of steam. And what's special about it is it's so hot that it's dry. So if you guys ever had an iron drip and like, God forbid, you have water that's been sitting in the iron and you get an iron stain, this is so hot that you won't get those little drippies. When I first turn on the system, there is a little water in the hose, so I always just steam it out in the air, and then I'm good to go. Now, the reason why I really like this is, I have my family trained not to use my sewing tools like my scissors, but they all use my iron. And before I had this iron, some people did not empty the water and let it sit in the iron. But with this, I don't have that problem, because you can just leave the water sitting in the boiler. Every once in a while, like every couple months, I do descale it. I just let water run through the system. But because of that, I don't get the sediment that would normally happen with the iron. And as I said, this is very lightweight. So I do hundreds of yards of ironing at a time. And I love the fact it's lightweight and the fact it has a filter, so it can filter it out. Now, other things I use this for that I didn't anticipate, this does kill 99% of viruses. So we all use this to sanitize our masks during the pandemic. So that's another really good use. Now, once I've, before I talk about quilting, let me back up and talk about applique. I love using this to do fusible applique because it makes a really good bond. You guys know when you peel back the paper of a fusible applique, sometimes like the bond doesn't quite get there. So with this, what I recommend doing, what I found works really well, is I would have my applique fabric wrong side up, and then I'd have my fusible web right on top of it. I go over with the steam, which activates the glue. So I don't touch it. I just steam the entire piece. And then once I've steamed it and made it tacky, awesome. Okay. This is to prep it. So I have traced my shape, right? Once I've steamed it and made it tacky, then I go and I apply heat. Okay. So they already have a piece done for me. And if I was going to applique this on, I do the same thing. I activate that glue with just a little bit of steam, and then I apply the heat. And that forms a really, really good bond as far as the applique goes. So that is what I like to do. It's very hot, but it's not drippy. So you're not going to have the paper buckle. Have you ever had the fusible paper buckle when you're doing applique? It doesn't do that. So that is really nice. The other thing I use the Laurastar for, so you guys can tell I'm not really into, I don't do utilitarian sewing. I only do my quilts, but everyone else uses it for utilitarian things. The other thing I like to do is when I get my quilts back, I've gone on a trip, I can sanitize them by steaming them. And then I do put it back into the blow mode. So I let the fan work with me and I steam the whole thing. The other thing I like to do with the blow mode as opposed to the vacuum mode is I steam batting, especially batting that doesn't really want direct heat like a wool. I can steam it and get the folds out of the batting. But as I said, you can iron so many layers together. It really, really is a time saver to have a system like this. What else was I going to say? Oh, yes. If you are into utilitarian sewing, it's good that you have this protective stitch plate. So there's only one temperature setting to the Laurastar. And so the way you it's good for everything. But if you have a very sensitive fabric, you can put on the 3D sole plate and then you can iron on, the sensitive fabrics. To be honest, I like to quilt way more than I like to iron. So, but this does make it super easy. So, I'm trying to think what else I use it for. Gosh, it gets used by everyone in the house. So we have a lot of people who are, my kids come over and just steam, whatever they need to. But again, it's not drippy. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. It's not going to distort the fabric because it's not drippy. So if you ever had an iron that doesn't get hot enough and you get fabric distortion, that can happen sometimes, but this isn't drippy. The other thing is sometimes if you have a full block in a quilt you're going to go and take to the quilting machine, you can steam out some of the excess using the Laurastar over the block that has some extra fabric. So we all know we've had those instances where you have a block you think may buckle a little. The one thing you can do is steam it before you quilt it. And the other thing is quilt it to death. If you put more quilting in that area, you're going to end up with a flatter quilt overall. Okay, so those are some of the ways I use it. But I think why I really like it is it works as a system. So I have the board with the fan. I can get really, really close when I have that vacuum feature on. It's going to suck down that steam so I can get really close and I don't have to wear those heat-proof gloves, right? As I iron. And so that's why it's my favorite system. If you don't have the space for a system, they also have like portable models over there. And I think Kristen can tell you more about those. But I do use this for about everything, and everyone in our house uses it. It is a fantastic system. If you guys have any questions, I know you guys can go over to the Laurastar booth, or you can come and ask me in the Bernina booth. I'm down there a few rows in the long arm booth, and you can come and ask me too how I use it. Are there any questions right now? No questions?
I noticed when you were sucking the steam down, it was always on that side. Does it work on that side?
Yeah.
Also?
I have my phone here, but yeah, it would work all the way down. So when you're on the sensing setting, it senses when you're moving and applies steam when you're going forward. And then when you come back, it applies heat. So that is what I use to iron yardage when I wanted to kind of distribute steam everywhere. So I go all the way down, it applies steam. I come back, it applies heat. When I'm on a manual setting, that's what I use for piecing because I want to control when the steam comes out. So, a lot of times if I'll position it, I'll apply heat, and then I might give it a punch of steam rather than having, the steam come out continuously as I move forward. So I have a little more control in the manual setting, which I use when I'm piecing. Whereas if I'm ironing yardage or I'm doing batting, I might have the sense seams feature on just so, it automatically applies the steam as I go down. Does that make sense? Is that how you do it? Yeah. So you have two different options with the steam, and I use both. It just depends on what I'm doing. So, but yeah, you can iron a ton of fabrics, just like 4 layers, and it goes straight through. And it's partially because there's a fan down there helping it, right? It will go all the way through all the fabrics. So it does really, really speed up your time, especially for pre-washing. But then you have the manual setting is really, really helpful when you're piecing or doing applique. And again, I do steam my quilts when they come back, just because TSA is probably dragging them on the airport floor. So I try to steam them. You can also square up quilts if you're having, like, you have a mini quilt and you can use this and, you know, steam it and try to get it more into square. So it's another. Yes, it uses regular tap water. But the nice thing is you don't have to empty it every time you use it. So you can, like, I leave it filled and people come and use it all the time. My kids will turn it on or whatever. You don't have to empty it all the time because it's not sitting in a metal compartment, right? So basically this is the filter. Can I take out the filter? The filter sits in here. When you see it turn like a color, like a water, that's when it's time to replace it. So I iron a lot, so I probably replace it every 2 to 3 months. It may be, I don't know what you guys recommend. Filter, just the filter, and then you use regular tap water because it's going to filter out all those things you don't want in it. But I use mine pretty heavily, so I would say every 2 to 3 months I'm replacing the filter. The filters aren't very expensive. They come in packs of 3, I think. Yeah. So, and they also have, if you guys are interested, they have like these cute little steamers over there that just make steam. They make steam like this, but they're not an ironing system in the same way. So there's a lot of different options. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Okay, there weren't a lot of people, but I just kept going because you have a Facebook audience.
All right, guys. So that was an awesome presentation from Amanda Murphy over with Laurastar. I hope that you enjoyed that, and I hope it was informative. So I am going to link down below the ironing board that Amanda was using. We had someone in the chat wondering about it, so I wanted to link that for all of you so you could take a look at that. So that was our first demonstration of the day. I hope you enjoyed, and we are still going to be going strong for a hot minute. So this is what we've got coming up for the rest of the day. This is our Friday schedule. So we just saw Amanda Murphy demo on some Laurastar, or demo with a Laurastar ironing board. We will be seeing So Steady make another appearance this morning at 11 a.m. This segment will be called a Win, Win, Win with So Steady. We're going to be doing some demos, and Kate Quinn is going to be doing some in-person giveaways. Now, I had some people asking me about this yesterday, so I did want to clarify that unfortunately the demos that we broadcast at the festival can only be participated in at the festival. So if you're watching from home and you can't be there in person, unfortunately, you can't participate in these So Steady giveaways that they are doing there. But not to worry, all good. We have some more stuff planned for you for later in the weekend. So take a look at the rest of the schedule here. We have the Quilt Club with Wendy Chow. Wendy Chow is going to be doing some more demos on that BQ 3100. So get excited for that. That is a really fantastic machine. And then we've got Cindy Hogan coming up later with more ScanNCut information. She's going to be talking about the new My Connection feature on the new ScanNCuts that you can use in conjunction with your Luminaire XP2. And then following up, someone you have all been waiting for the entire weekend, we have Angela Wolf, who is going to be doing some demos on the Luminaire XP2. So I hope that you enjoy and stay tuned for Angela Wolf. I know everyone is very excited to see her. And then after that, we have the Stellaire. Jerry Granata, another fantastic brother educator, is going to be demoing on the Brothers Stellaire. So I hope that you stay tuned for that. And just to change things up a little bit, we're going to be talking with Coleen Swettman at 1:30 about Brothers PR multi-needle machines. So definitely stay tuned for that. At 2 o'clock, we're going to have another Laurastar demonstration. So if you missed Amanda's earlier or just now, that's okay. We're going to have another one coming at you at 2. And then after 2, this is very, very important. After 2, we are going to be going dark on this broadcast, and then we are hopping over to another video. So if you have not yet, please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, tap the bell for notifications so it'll let you know when we go live, and you can tap and go straight to that video. I will link that video in the chat, obviously, as well. And if you do like us on Facebook and you get notifications for us on Facebook, the same thing applies. You can just tap that notification and go straight over there. But for those of you who aren't, I'm going to go ahead and link that in the chat when it gets a little bit closer, just so you don't think that we are gone for the day, because we will still have about half of the day to go after we start up on that other live stream. So that's what we've got going on for the morning. We have another action-packed afternoon as well, full of virtual and live demonstrations, some pre-recorded and some stuff happening in the booth. But let's go ahead and say hello to some more people who are in the chat. So let's see, we've got Gia watching over in Michigan. Really great to see you again, Gia. Thank you so much for watching. We've got Nilda again this morning. Good morning, love from Colorado. It's so good to see you, Nilda. Thank you so much for watching again with us this morning. Erin is watching it's raining in Northeast Ohio too. It is raining everywhere today. Dang. It is a gloomy day. We've got Michelle Hall watching from Pennsylvania. Good to see you, Michelle. Thank you so much for watching. We've got Nancy Gonzalez in Puerto Rico. Always good to see you in the chat, Nancy. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We've got Kathleen Queen watching from Ohio. So thank you so much, Kathleen, for tuning in. And then we've got Karen also watching from rainy Ohio. So good to see you again too, Karen. We've got Beverly over in sunny Southern California. See, California's got sun. So that's funny. We've got Claudia watching from Texas. Really great to see you, Claudia. We've got Janice from Louisiana. Really great to see you too, Janice. We've got Janie L from Fairhope, Alabama saying good morning. Good morning, Janie. Always good to see you all in the chat. We've got Robin from Southern California. Deborah is telling everyone hello in the chat. We've got Mary Ann saying hello from Michigan. Ann Philbeck says, you look so refreshed this morning. Can't wait for Angela, Cindy, and Jerry. Thank you. And I got my beauty sleep last night. I'm good to go. I'm caffeinated. It's time to go for another day. And we've got Marissa watching. Happy Friday from sunny Southern California. It's so great to see you in the chat again, Marissa. Thank you so much for all of you watching and continuing to watch. We've got Connie Chamberlain back again today in Colorado. Really great to see you too, Connie. Thank you so much, y'all, for tuning in today. We have such a long day in the best way. So I'm really, really happy that you all have tuned in so early. We've also got Benita watching from New Brunswick, Canada. Also great to see you too. Thank you so much. Cheers to you for watching all the way up in Canada. Our friends up north, always good to hear from you. So let's see what we've got going on. I did want to let you guys know that there are going to be some machines, unfortunately, that we are selling that you can only get pricing either in Houston or in one of our retail stores. Now, don't worry if you're not near one of our retail stores, or if you're not near Houston, you can go ahead and give us a call at our 1-800 number for special show pricing. We've got customer service reps on the line right now, ready to help you out. So if you'd like, please go ahead and call our 1-800 number, and definitely write this down. It's ticking across the bottom of the screen, but I'll say it out loud in case you are listening as opposed to watching. It is 1-800-739-7374. One more time for you guys. That is 1-800-739-7374. So please do not miss out on any of these fantastic machines. We have some great pricing. This is the lowest pricing. A lot of these machines are at the lowest pricing that they'll be for the year. So the only other opportunity you're going to get prices this low, financing this good, all that good stuff is going to be next year at the festival. So definitely take advantage of all of the specials that we have running right now. And if you want to see those, you can check out allbrands.com/Quilt Fest. That is where we have a PDF with a bunch of our brother information, all of our brother packages and stuff. And here, I'm going to go ahead and link that PDF for you guys in the chat so you can take a look at that catalog. Go ahead and click there and you'll be able to see everything. Now, while we're waiting for our next demonstrator, I'm going to go ahead and pull that up on my end as well so you can see it. So let's go ahead and bring that up. This is what our festival packet is. It's 30 pages of goodies. We got a lot of information, a lot of great packages, and already we're starting off strong with the Luminaire XP2. We are adding $6,300 in added value to this Luminaire 2. So if you buy this at the festival, you can pick up a new ScanNCut. We will throw in a new ScanNCut, the SDX 325, with your Luminaire, which is awesome because this new ScanNCut has this amazing new feature. And I believe it's Cindy Hogan that is going to be demonstrating that. Yes, it is. Cindy Hogan is going to be demonstrating the My Connection feature, which is new to these ScanNCuts, to the SDX 325. It is truly a fantastic machine, and you can use these in conjunction with each other. Brother has made it so simple. So I would absolutely recommend, if you ever consider purchasing a Luminaire, now is the time. Not only are we throwing in the ScanNCut, we're throwing in a bunch of classes, we are throwing in a luggage set, and most importantly, we are going to have this at 60 months, 0% APR financing for the festival. So please do not miss out on this. It's an amazing machine, you guys. I have an upgraded XP1 at home, so it's essentially an XP2, and I am obsessed. I am obsessed with this machine. It is truly just a powerhouse. It does everything and then some, and it's just perfect for everything. I'm actually working on a costume for our Renaissance fair, our local Renaissance fair, on it right now. And it just does everything that I need it to do, which I love so very much. So again, you guys, if you just tuned in, no worries. If you missed anything, or if you are going to miss anything, that's okay. You can rewatch everything, all of our coverage, all of it, over on our Facebook and our YouTube channels. So once we go off the air, this video will be available for replay. So we have Thursday's videos already. We've got part 1 and 2 of yesterday's videos, and we've got Wednesday, our preview night, already up on our Facebook, our YouTube, and on our website. All of that is on allbrands.com/quiltfest. So definitely check those out if you missed anything, if you saw anything that you maybe wanted to catch and just didn't get the chance to. Because I know it's been a very crazy year, and I know it's been really hard for people to come out to Houston. So hence why we wanted to do this for you all. So I hope that you're enjoying. I hope that you are having a great time so far at the festival, or at the virtual festival, however you might be attending. I hope you're enjoying. We are having a great time putting this out for you, and we had a great time putting it together. So hopefully this is all coming to fruition and you are enjoying it so very much. Deborah says, great deal. Love this machine. Right, Deborah? Yes, the Luminaire, the XP2 is really an awesome machine. And I hope that all of you take advantage of that. Shirley says, I love my ScanNCut 325. The My Connection feature has really saved me a lot of time, and the rotary blade is amazing. You guys, the rotary blade on this thing is so good. The rotary blade is a new blade that Brother has made, or Brother has come out with. They just released it at B2B, which was, let's see, that was in the summer of this past year. It is really awesome. Everyone loved it so much that unfortunately it is back ordered, but you can still place your order with us. It is back ordered pretty much everywhere. So definitely place your order with us. We will try and get those out to you as soon as possible. But with the supply chain issues that everyone has been seeing, and with just the excitement for such a quality product that Brothers put out, it's been a little bit hard to get your hands on everywhere. So if you can't get your hands on one, you're not the only one, but place your order with us and we are going to get those out as soon as we can. We've got Cindy watching from Shelton, Washington. Really great to see you in the chat too, Cindy. And Cindy also loves the rotary blade. The rotary blade is so good. It is such a good machine. Like, and the new ScanNCuts, I don't even know. I have no words for how excited these make me. They are truly, truly fantastic. So again, you guys, if while we're waiting for the next presenter, I just wanted to briefly mention to you the schedule again today. So we just saw Amanda Murphy doing effortless ironing, and now we are moving on to Kate Quinn with So Steady. And another thing before we continue, I plugged this a bunch yesterday. I'm going to keep telling you guys about it because I think it's really cool and you definitely should enter into this. We are running a mask decorating contest. So if you head on over to allbrands.com/mask, you can check out this mask decorating contest that we have going on. So here, I'm going to show you the landing page and I'll tell you a little bit more about it while we're waiting for our next presenter. So this is allbrands.com/mask. We have a mask decorating contest that we are running until November 3rd. So until after the festival. Now, all you need to do is create or purchase a mask, either made with CDC approved materials. So, you know, that could be an N95. It could be just tightly woven cotton. Up to you, just no lace, no mesh, things like that. And we want you to decorate it. We want you to decorate it either Halloween or fall themed, since Halloween is Sunday. It's creeping up on us. So go ahead and decorate your mask, make it spooky, make it fall, make it whatever you want, and submit your entry over here on this landing page. Now, if you scroll down just a little bit, you can see where you can upload your photos. You can enter using Instagram, you can or Facebook, or you can upload it directly to the site. Now, if you use Instagram or Facebook, it's very important, and it says it up here at the top. Please submit with hashtag #AllBrandsMask and vote on your favorites. We have 13 submissions in there now. Go vote on your favorites, submit your own, and we will pick a winner on the All Brands show November 4th. Now it is time for our next presenter. So let's go ahead and bring them on.
I just broke my needle.
Oh no. All right, well, just a moment then while we wait for Kate to fix her needle situation. We will go ahead and get that fixed for you. The magic of live broadcasting. Let's say hello to some people in the chat. We've got Arnell watching from Salem, Illinois. And we are, let's see if we've got Kate ready to go.
Write your name on there and I'm going to collect that up. Don't want to kill myself as I walk off the stage. So right now, throughout the Houston special, if you spend $100 in So Steady products, you have the opportunity to get this quilted bag to hold anything that you want. It has a clear cover, so it's very convenient. It's kind of thick, so you can definitely put some stuff in there. Blocks, templates, notions, thread, whatever you like. If you spend $100, you'll be able to take this home for no charge. Can you load it?
I can try.
I'm not sure if that's the right needle. That's an embroidery needle. Okay. Alrighty. So I'll give you that. And here is a little entrance. I just need your name so I can draw your name out. Here you go, dear. So I only have one pen. If you want to use your own pen, you might want that, but I will share mine. Oh, sorry about that. It stuck to me. Slippery little sucker. Here you go. Hi, welcome. Here you go. Did you get a little ticket? Just putting your name on it because we're going to do a drawing. Did you want to be in our drawing, dear? Do you want to be in our drawing? All right, I'm going to pass out a couple of these little promotional things if you want that. So just fold it up so that I can stick them in that basket. Can you fold it up so that the sticky side's inside? That way it won't stick to anybody. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right. Did you get? We're passing out just our little flyers so you know we're booth 1050 and we're with All Brands. So we're here supporting All Brands today. If you guys want to participate in our drawing, here's a little ticket. Just put your name on it. If you just write your name on that, here's a pen. Okay. Anybody not get our little promotional flyer? Do you want to put your name in our drawing? No? Do you want to put your name in our drawing? All right, I'm going to grab the samples that I'm sharing for today real quick. All right, so Leonie West is the designer behind Westerly Design. She's from Australia. She is an incredible, amazing designer with really unique products that have revolutionized the quilting industry. Many years ago, I was a crappy quilter. I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I found rulers and bam, now it's awesome. It is a great process that separates the action of the designing piece and the quilting piece. Once I put that ruler down, all my designing decisions have already been made, and all I have to do is concentrate on following the ruler with the foot. So I'm separating that action. So you're developing those skills in two parts, which really does make it easier to have better stitch control, prettier lines, and it also makes you a better designer. One of her new, here, you just dropped that, sorry. One of her new products is the Tacoma set. So this is an example of what that template can do. What it is a rotational clamshell. I'm going to grab a couple of other samples. This is the template method. Both of these are what are called the template method. It's a raw edge applique method that she designed. I mean, we've all done different types of applique, but she's kind of codified this to be template quilting. You quilt with the template first. This top layer has a fusible adhered to the back. This purple has a double-sided fusible only stuck to the back. Then you're gonna layer the fused fun fabric underneath. So top layer with fusible, then the peekaboo layer, batting, backing. You're gonna quilt the entire piece with your template. Then you're gonna mark whatever areas you wanna cut away the top and reveal that peekaboo fabric underneath. So we have quite a few amazing pieces of this work. This is the Tacoma set. I wanna just mention, I have one more. These smaller pieces were done with the 12-inch Tacoma set. We have two different sizes. This is the 12-inch set. You can see it's smaller. There are two pieces in a set because you're going to have offset clamshell potential. So there's always two pieces in the set. It looks like this. This is just one of the large pieces right here. And as you go around the center, this is the travel to sew that. So it's really, really a fun, easy set to work with. We have a lot of amazing designs that go with it. The basic book is the Ranges book. This is Leonie's actual book. This is her own work. And this is what the quilt looks like when you cut it all away. And then the back shows without the cutaway, where you can just see the designs. But this is all step by step, and you could do it in either size. We offer a complete template set, a 5-piece template set, and the book for a certain price, whether it's 18 or 12 inches, two different prices. We can order those groupings for you, or we have the book and we have the templates available separately. In addition, Leonie's best friend, Janet Collins, is another amazing designer, and she's part of our educator set. And she has created the Luna quilt, which is kind of like an otherworldly look to it. And if you wanted to pass that around just so people could look at that, then that gives you more options for what you can do with those templates. Not to mention that every one of you can do whatever you want. You don't need to follow this pattern. You can create your own pattern. You can use it in any way that you like. And that's an option for you. I'll pass this around this way too so people can just look at it. So in addition to this set, which we will be demoing this morning, we have tons of other things. We have arcs, we have curvy templates, we have circles in every different variety, clamshells, spinning templates, leaf templates, so many choices. If there's something that you want that we don't have, we can order it for you. We're offering free shipping, and we have 10% off on all of our designers. We also have designs by Donna Macaulay Quilting, DM Quilting. So we have a whole wall of her designs. She has a lot of great all over quilting options. So we could share those with you. And also Donnell McAdams is one of our designers, and she has some terrific pieces in her line that we also have available. We also have some templates by Sarah Diddy, who is a long armor, amazing long armor, and she's got some terrific rulers as well. So anything that you might want in the template world, we have some options for you to fit every person. So as a thank you for participating today, I'm going to go ahead and start giving some fun things away. Does anybody want to be in our drawing that has not given me their name? I don't know, I think we lost our little pink note card. Oh, here it is, right here. So anybody here not giving me their name already? If you want to be in the drawing, do you want to be in it? Just write your name on it, dear. You need a couple? All right, so if you want to be in our drawing, we're giving away some template related and awesome sewing stuff. So it's the last call. Give me your name. You just have to write it on this paper and you can be in our drawing. We're not taking your email, your name, your nothing. Just me drawing it out of the hat.
This is written for meters, and us Americans don't do meters.
A 1 meter is approximately 1 yard. Just write your name on it. Oh, don't make it too complicated. It's approximately. I'm just going to fold it real quick. Did you want one, ma'am? And I'll take the pen. Thanks, dear. All right. So one of the first things that we're going to give away, Westerly uses stable tape. Why is that so important? Here's what I hear all the time. Oh, that's just shelf liner. No, it isn't. I can buy that at Walmart. I can't buy this at Walmart. Okay? It does look like shelf liner. It has an acrylic safe adhesive on the back. It is not going to etch your templates. It's not going to scratch them. And the glue comes off very easily. You'll actually see that there won't be any glue residue. There'll be dirt around the square. It'll come right off and you can just clean it and put another one on. Typically, you're going to want to do this maybe every 1 or 2 years. You can tell that the tape is no longer valid because the ruler will start slipping around. But I've used mine some templates for maybe 2 years. So you'll know when it's time. This is just a replacement pack. All of our templates come with this already. You don't have to buy it initially. It'd only be if you need to replace the tapes that you've already used. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll give that away. Have everybody's name in here. All right, so Kay Pearl. Who's that? Woohoo! Thank you, Miss Kay. Here you go. So I'm going to take this out. All right, then the next item that I'm going to give away. When you're working with templates, the needle is in the center of a 1/2 inch circle. What that means is that when I lay the ruler down, if this is my foot, the needle is 1/4 inch away, right? It's not touching the ruler. The foot is protecting that. So one of the unique things that we have is called the spacing gauge. And it has a little 1/4 inch finger. I'll just open it up real quick. This one is clear, so it's not easy to see. If you set it down, you're like, where'd it go? So this little 1/4 inch finger is used to position the ruler. If I want the needle to go there, I need to be 1/4 inch away with the ruler. So this can be that perfect spacer to get that accuracy. You can also use it to check your seam allowances, whatever you want. The other sizes can be used for different designing options. Because this one is clear, which is how they have made them from the start, They're very difficult to find. I used to hand out ribbons in class so people could mark theirs. And we now have this amazing Notions necklace. It is a great matchup for this tool so it does not get lost. The way that you use it, it's got a little button right here to release this. So it's 2 pieces. You're going to put the spacing gauge on here. I put this over the leg of my Sew Steady table and I just clip it back on each time. I've trained myself because I was always losing it. And that way you can have that. Another awesome use for this Notions necklace, your embroidery USB. Keeps it handy, so easy to find it. It's got a color tag. We have lots of different colors, very inexpensive. This is $10, actually $9 with our discount today. We're going to be giving these away as a set. So we'll go ahead and draw real quick. Anybody missed? Didn't get their name in our drawing? Want to be in it? You want to be? Okay, we'll do it. I know, sorry guys, we have to wait. That means I have to tap dance a little bit. So I lost my pen somehow. You got it? Anybody else want to put their name in the drawing? You too? Did you want to be in the drawing?
I did.
All right. So I'll talk about our next giveaway while people are putting their name in. Do you want a ticket? Okay. So the next piece I'm going to talk about is our ruler work glider. So Sew Steady has come up with one of the most amazing gliders in the industry. And I kind of remember when I first got it, I was unsure about it. I leave it on all the time. I absolutely love it. So I have 2 different ones. I have one called the Grid Glider. The Grid Glider has a large opening that exposes both the feed dogs and the foot, that whole area. Okay, and that one is available. We have that over in the booth. This one is the exact same size, but this is the ruler free motion glider. It only has a distinctive opening just for your free motion or your ruler foot. There's no markings on it. All it's doing is providing a smooth, slick surface. For templates, you really need that so that your template can move smoothly. If the fabric is stuttering, that is more likely that the ruler will shift. So when I use this, it comes pre-polished. I like to recommend that people purchase the polish kit from our table. It works great on this and the table, and it's going to create a pledge-like surface for this. So this will be our giveaway today. Make sure that when you bring it home, you read that that is a Peel Me tab. This is going to peel off, right? This is the sticky part. Keep this backing to protect your product. And then when you're not using it, you can roll it back up and put it in the tube. Mine is almost never off. The other one that's open, you can sew with it or quilt with it. So it has great versatility. You never have to take it off. When you remove it, if you have a top load bobbin, raise your foot and your needle. You can just peel it back and roll it under the foot, change your bobbin and gently roll it and pat it back into place. If the back is dirty, which it does get linty, you can wipe it with a baby wipe or you can rinse it with cold water and let it air dry. It does not stick well if it is dirty, but if it is clean, it sticks amazingly well on a smooth surface. If you have a textured surface, we have other options. It's not as effective if you've got a heavily textured table or surface. It doesn't stick well on wood. Okay, just so you know. All right, so we're going to give this away. Let's go ahead. We'll draw out. And the first one that we were going to give away was, oh, thank you, dear. I'm glad you caught my attention. Okay, mix them up. Woo! Here we go. Okay, Pam. Somebody? Pam Moore. You got it, girl. So the first giveaway that we were doing was that spacing gauge. So here you go. You get the 2-piece set. And then we'll draw right away since we talked enough. Our next giveaway is Mary Weaver. Mary, congratulations. So let me put it back in the container for you. All righty. Well, happy. Do you like to quilt? Good. So this will be a good help for you. Can you put it back in the bag? Back in there? Okay. So let's go ahead. We'll do one more since we talked a lot. I appreciate you guys hanging out. All right. So let's see who this belongs to. Lorena C? Lorena somebody? Lorene, last call. Looks like LORENECADN something. Okay, she left. Sorry. We'll pick another one. All righty, so this is for the quilt bag. Sandy Lead. Okay, here you go, madam. All right, so I'm just gonna take my last minute and I'm gonna show you one more thing. I have one more giveaway, so hold on with me. These tools are called crosshair squares. We have them in two different sizes. This one is the 8.5-inch size, and this is the 12.5-inch size. We have them in different configurations. If you see, this one has 8 openings. This is the 8-point crosshair. So this is going to make 45-degree, 90-degree markings. And I can make 8, I can make 4, I can make double that, I can make 16, then 32. It's multiplicative. This one is a little different. This is the 12.5-inch size, and this one is like a starfish. This is the 5-point, right? So we have 5-point, 6-point, and 8-point. They're going to make 5, and then 10, and then 20, and then double that. So they're going to split each time, and these are great for so many of our different templates, like a spin effects. You do also want to use these with Tacoma. That's how I've created these lines right here so that I could do the stitching for this Tacoma. Oh, sorry. So you can see that I'm lining that ruler up on those lines as I'm sewing around. So if this is a template that you're interested in, I really recommend that crosshair because that is really vital to making this successful. Okay, so thanks for hanging with me. I'm going to do my last giveaway and we'll be done. All right, here we go. Yan Wang, are you here? Yay, okay. So what we're giving away, our last item is our Sew Steady tumbler. It's a new product and it's promotional, and I actually have one at home and I do use it. So here you go, ma'am. Enjoy. Thank you so much for your time, everybody. Have a great day. We'll be back at 3 o'clock with a different demo. We're actually going to be sewing in the afternoon, and we'll be sharing our hearts and our feather leaf template sets. 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock right here.
All right, you guys. So that was another fantastic presentation and giveaway, set of giveaways with Kate Quinn from Sew Steady Westerly. Really awesome stuff that she was giving away. I wish I could be there in person to enter myself. But I'm really happy to still be here with all of you. So that was our second live demonstration of the day. Coming up next, we have Wendy Chow talking about the BQ 3100, an incredible new addition to Brothers Quilt Club line. I'm really excited for you all to see that if you have not caught it yet this week. So we'll be doing that next. And then after that, we will be having Cindy Hogan on the stage to talk about the new ScanNCut feature for the new ScanNCut models, the My Connection feature that you can use in conjunction with your Luminaire if you have one. So definitely don't miss that. And then afterward, we've got someone you've all been waiting for. Angela Wolf is going to be demonstrating on the XP2. So please enjoy that. I am very excited for you all to see that. So that's just a sneak preview of what we've got coming up in the next couple of hours. Let's say hello to some people in the chat. We've got Beth Small watching from rainy Ohio. Hello, Beth. It's really great to see you. We've got Joan McFadden watching, or yes, Faden, I hope I pronounced that correctly, saying hello from Wisconsin. Really great to see you in the chat, Joan. Thank you so much for watching with us today. We've got Star Raymond watching and saying greetings from West Michigan. Well, great to see you. Thank you for tuning in with us. Sherry is saying hi from Florida. Howdy, Sherry. I hope the Florida weather is treating you well. Debbie is watching from Ohio. Hello, Debbie. Really great to see you. Sally, I wish I could have been there too, but I'm really happy to be here with all of you. And I hope that this is a comparable experience. Although it's not the same, I hope this is coming pretty close to the Quilt Fest experience. Cindy West says, hi from a rainy Tennessee. Hello, Cindy. Really great to see you in the chat. Linda says, Kate is so steady. We'll be doing another So Steady demonstration just a little bit later. I believe it's going to be with Ann Moore instead of Kate. Let me double check on that for you. Yes, it looks like we have Kate Quinn. No, actually, Kate Quinn coming back to do some more ruler work stuff. So please don't miss out on that. We've got Edwina watching from San Francisco, California. I hope that you all are enjoying this so far. We've only been streaming for about an hour. So there's still plenty more of the day to go. We have so much more left today. So please stay tuned, or, you know, come hang out periodically throughout the day while you've got time. This is going to be a really fun day. So you guys, before we went back to our last, before we did our last demonstration, I mentioned very briefly the mask decorating contest that we've got going on right now. So let me go ahead and pull that up for you again. So guys, this is the mask decorating contest that we are currently running. So all you need to do is create or purchase a CDC approved mask and decorate it. So you can make one with tightly woven cotton, whatever you like, just as long as it's not like lace or mesh or anything like that, and decorate it fall or Halloween theme. That's our prompt, because this is Halloween is in 2 days. We got 2 more days till Halloween. So go ahead and submit that entry. Take a picture of your mask and submit your entry over at allbrands.com/mask, which is where this page is. Or go ahead and submit that on your Facebook or your Instagram. Just make a post with the image and caption it somewhere, including the hashtag AllBrandsMask. That's very important. You have to do that, because that is what is going to enter you into the competition. So after you do that, you can vote on your favorites. Now, if you scroll down, there is a gallery with a bunch of our entries, and you can go ahead and vote on your faves. We've got plenty over here that you can vote on, and we can take a look at some of those. Yeah, so look at that. That is crazy. That's so creative. So go ahead and decorate your mask. I love this one. This one's really fun. Nice little spooky theme. I love the spider web. So go ahead and vote on your favorites. If you click on one, you can go ahead and hit vote at the bottom right here, that little heart, or next to that little heart, and that will cast your vote. Now, the person with the most votes is going to win, and we are going to announce that winner on the AllBrands show November 4th, the day after the contest closes. So please do that, because if you win, guys, if you win, you can win over $1,000 in prizes. So one of the things that we are giving away to the winner is a Brother SE 1900 sewing and embroidery machine. It's one of our classroom models. Still, it's a great machine. It's, oh gosh, it's a fantastic machine. And that's already a machine worth $1,000 right there. So not only that, but we are giving you a Durkee flat cap frame if you win. We are also throwing in a dime magnetic frame and So Steady's mask template. So if you win, you could win over $1,000 in prizes if you just submit your mask, get the most votes, and you are the winner. So definitely do that. You got nothing to lose. It's free. All you need to do is take a picture of your mask and then submit it and get some votes. And that's all. So super easy to win. And not only that, but I did want to let you guys know that we are going to be giving away a BQ 950. That BQ 950 is, let's see, let me go ahead and try and put that giveaway, or let's see if we can get that giveaway link in the chat. That BQ 950 is awesome. It is awesome. It is free to enter into this giveaway as well. We are doing this for people who attend the festival and for people who can't make it there in person. We are giving it away, or we're putting in names for both and both participants, both in person and virtually. So we have just linked that BQ 950 giveaway in the chat. All you need to do is fill out that form, and that's it. That is it. And you are in the running for that BQ 950. So we're doing a bunch of giveaways. We're doing a mask competition. So go ahead and enter into those. And now I'm going to go ahead and bring on our next presenter. It is Wendy Chow from the Weekend Quilter, demonstrating on the BQ 3100.
Hey everyone. Hi, my name is Wendy and I'm from the Weekend Quilter. How's everyone doing? You can all hear me well? Cool, awesome. So I design and write modern quilt patterns to share my passion for quilting.
Attention please attendees, we'd like to remind everyone to please wear a face mask or face shield while on the show floor. If you need one, face masks are available at all entrance doors. Thank you.
Okay, cool, we're all good now. Sorry about the interruption by the PA system. Anyway, yeah, so I write modern quilt patterns to share my passion for quilting, but also to inspire a new generation of quilters. I also co-host a podcast called Quilt Buzz, and I'm also the author of Urban Quilting. So in today's demo, I'm going to be showing you the awesome features that the new BQ 3100 machine has to offer, and it's got some really cool features that will take your quilting experience to the next level. And if you have any questions or require further information about the machines, or if you want to try it out, I'll be hanging out on the right side of the stage at the end of the demo. And yeah, you can ask me all the questions. And you can always talk to AllBrands staff as well. They definitely would have all the answers for you. And be sure to also ask the offerings that they've got at the moment, because they are offering the best packages and deals of the year. Alrighty, so without further ado, I'm going to show you one of the really cool features on this machine, and it's one of my favorite ones. It's the Sew Straight Laser Vision Guide. So I don't know if you can see on the screen here, but that's that red laser light here. Are we good? Cool, awesome. So the red laser light here, it cuts out the time for actually having to draw out all the quilting guidelines and whatnot. So especially it's really handy when you're creating flying geese units or snowball units, because you don't have to spend that time ruling out and drawing everything, and you can just go straight to the fun part of sewing. So I'm just going to show you how this works. And another thing to note as well, can you see that? Okay, cool. So on the screen here, I can actually adjust where the laser light is going to be at relative to where the stitch is going to be. So the red light is where the laser light is at the moment, and the blue is where the stitch is. So I'm going to adjust it to the center, line it up. Yep, we're all good to go. So you can see I'm lining up the laser light from one corner to the other. And it takes a little while to adjust to switching how to use the laser light, because normally you're looking at the needle instead of actually the laser light. So the trick here is to look at where it's going to actually end up being at. So I keep repeating in my mind, like, keep your eye on the prize and where you're going to finish up on. So I'm going to start sewing. See how that laser light's lined up at the very end of that tip corner there where I want to end at. There you go. So as you can kind of imagine, like, it is really quick to put the flying geese units together, or maybe your snowball units together. The baby quilt here, the scrappy one, it only took me a few hours to put that together, from cutting to assembling the quilt top. And normally that would take me like an entire day to put together. So this is kind of to give you an idea. I don't know if you can see, it's pretty straight line there, thanks to the Sew Straight Laser Vision Guide. All right. And again, like I mentioned earlier, you can move the Laser Vision Guide from left to right. So that makes it really easy when it comes to actually quilting or adding quilting lines to your project. So I don't know if you can see how there's like a quilting line here to here. So rather than actually having to spend time getting the Hera marker out and getting your quilting ruler out, you don't have to like rule it all out again, because that takes time and it takes a lot of effort and energy out of your body as well. So that's the really handy thing about that Laser Vision Guide, which I'll show you in a moment how that works. So the other great feature about the BQ 3100 machines is the automatic height adjuster. So essentially it's the stitch lengths remain consistent or like all even across the board when you're working with different thicknesses of fabric. So for example, if you're quilting or working on projects where there's different types of materials. So this is actually from my my simple patchwork bag down there. And you're more than welcome to take the pattern as well home with you. It's a free one. You could pass it around. But yeah, with this particular project, we're using cotton canvas. We've got belting strap here, and you've got your, your usual like quilting layers, like your quilt back, your quilt batting, your quilt front. So you can imagine there is a ton of layers here. So with this machine, with the automatic height adjuster, it's able to maintain its stitch length as you're going through the different types of materials and different layers. So I'm going to show you how that works. Is it going to be okay on? Yeah. So as I'm going through this machine, going through this particular project, I just want you to keep an eye out on the presser foot and just see how the presser foot, like it remains its pressure. Oops, hang on, I forgot to thread the machine. So the great thing about this machine as well, it tells you what's wrong with the threads as well. So I've got a warning message that the thread's been unthreaded. So I'm gonna unthread it thread it up right now. And threading the machine is so easy as well. So just by a click of a button, you can thread the machine. So I'm just going to click this button and it's going to thread the machine. So I'm not spending time and wasting, all that time and effort trying to figure out where the thread is with the eye of the needle. So I'm going to take it away. I'm going to turn that off. Whoops. Hang on. So I'm going to zoom in on the camera, but you can kind of see how all the stitch lengths are all nice and even across the board. There you go. And I'm going to flip this over and flip the strap over. And I'm going to find the 1/4 inch seam allowance from the top of the bag. And finding the 1/4 inch seam allowance on these machines are really easy. So Brother, there's a few ways in finding it. So Brother has this particular plate here where you have the 1/4 inch seam allowance guide there. So you just got to make sure that the needle is in the central position in order to match that up with the right edge of your fabric. Also, you could do that just by a simple touch of the button here, which is what I always use when I turn on my machine. So the piecing stitch to the right. And if you really wanted to, you can adjust it so that it's the 1/4 inch seam allowance is from the left side of the presser foot. So it's really simple and easy. And all the Quilt Club series machine does come with the 1/4 inch seam allowance presser foot as well. So again, that's another way where you can find the 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I'm going to do this again. So again, just keep an eye out on the presser foot, and it adjusts and changes as the fabric thicknesses change as well. So yeah, I'm going to show you up close again how the stitch lengths remain consistent across the board as I'm like checking out as I'm going through the different thicknesses of fabric. There you go. So that's how the automatic height adjuster works. And it's great again when it comes to like binding or like you're quilting across like different types of materials or thick fabrics. So this next thing is the compact move it digital dual feed. So I don't know if you can see this rubber sort of conveyor belt mechanism at the bottom. So this actually works better than the traditional walking foot because it's got contact with the fabric the entire time that you're working with the project. So it better guides the fabric and different thicknesses and types of materials. So you might be working on a project where there's like, a stretchy fabric, like minky fabric on the back, and then on the front you've got like a non-stretchy fabric, like your classic like quilting cottons, or maybe you're working on a t-shirt quilt. This is a great foot because it's able to prevent the puckering from happening and all the stretching. So unlike the traditional walking foots, it only holds the fabric from the bottom, whereas this holds the fabric from the top and bottom. So I'm going to switch it over. And if you happen to be dabbling in like garment making as well, and if you're working with stretchy or delicate fabrics, again, this is a great foot for it, as well as if you're working with fabrics that have got patterns like plaid and stripes and you need to match them up, like this holds it in place. So it's great. Just got to tighten this on. Just bear with me. Whoops. And do make sure that you do plug this in when you are using it, because the first time that I did it, I didn't do it and I wondered what on earth is going on? Why isn't it working? Why isn't the conveyor belt mechanism moving at all? So yeah, make sure you do that. So I'm going to show you how this Move It dual feed works together with the laser guide and this quilt. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to adjust where the laser light's going to be so you can see it's going to the right. I'm going to move the needle to the far left. Put on my quilting gloves on. These are actually my favorite quilting gloves. They're actually gardening gloves. So I find that they got better grip in comparison to the classic ones. Anyway, so I'm going to show you an example of how I don't have to draw out the quilting guidelines with my hera marker, and I'm going to use it with the Sew Straight laser guide. Oops, my hair is there. Okay, alrighty, I'm going to take it away. So you can see how that Sew Straight laser guide makes it so easy for me to figure out where the next quilting guideline is going to be. And as I'm working through this project as well, I want you to keep an eye out on that black rubber conveyor-like mechanism as well. You can see that it is guiding my fabric and it's consistently touching it as I'm working through it. And it just makes it so nice and smooth. Yeah, it goes on the top and bottom and it feeds the fabric together at the same time. So you've got better like movement and control over it. So I'm just going to finish the stitch here. This is the tie off the stitch function. And you can see how I've just simply added that additional line without having to get a hera marker out and a ruler to draw it out again. And with another great benefit of the compact foot as well is it's able to handle stitches that go backwards as well. So you could introduce like decorative stitches when it comes to quilting as well. So unlike with traditional walking foots, it's unable to handle backward stitches. So I'm going to show you this example here where there's some backward stitching here. So again, you can see that Move It foot moving back and forwards. Here you go. You can pass this around and you can see how nice the stitch lengths are, evenly distributed. So another really cool function about this machine is that among the hundreds of different decorative stitches that are available on the machine, you can actually create your own one as well with the My Custom Stitch function. So I'm just gonna undo this quickly. Oops, I'm gonna unplug it. Right, so the My Custom Stitch function, yeah, like I said, it basically says that the name says it all. You could create your own stitch. So all you got to do is set your each point as you make them. This V-Sonic pen here, it makes it so easy to get that precision or that specific placement of the points that you want. So right now I'm just creating something really random here. Just to give you an idea. And before you actually start sewing, you can actually preview how the actual stitch is going to end up looking like. You could also adjust the density of it as well. So wider, more dense, and you can adjust the width as well So you can play around with it with so many things, so many different ways I meant. And also, if you really like that particular stitch as well, you could always save it also onto the machine. I'm just trying to find my, oh yeah, you guys got my little sample. Okay, it's all good, don't worry. I'm gonna use it on this little one here. Oh, cool, thank you. So I'm gonna test this out. Here we go. Here you go. So you can see how that decorative stitch that I've created together with what I've just made here. Oh, a bit further away. Yeah, sorry. There you go. So you can make the comparison between what's on the screen here versus what's on here as well. So it's a really cool function if you really want something specific. But like I said, there are, I think on this particular machine, there are over 700 decorative stitches on here. So you'll never run out of decorative stitches to play around with. But yeah, no, that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed today's demo. Like I said, if you want to try out the machine, or if you've got any questions, or you're more than welcome to try it out. I'll be hanging out here. And if you want to know more about the packages and the pricing as well, they're going to be the best ones of the year. And the AllBrands staff in the red polo shirts will be able to help you answer those questions. But thank you so much again.
Can you import like edge to edge
Quilting?
pattern?
Yeah.
It's on here. You know, like I order like a lot of edge to edge.
Oh.
All right, y'all. So that was another fantastic demonstration from Wendy Chow over at the Weekend Quilter. She just demonstrated the BQ 3100 for those of you who were curious. The BQ 3100 is the newest addition to the Brother Quilt Club line. But speaking of the Brother Quilt Club line, we do we'll I'm gonna get my words together. I'm gonna speak sentences today. So we are giving away another machine in the Brother Quilt Club line. So we are giving away the BQ 950. We're gonna be giving that one away. Jordan, when does that one end? When does that giveaway?
I think it's the same as the.
I think it's the same as the mass competition.
November 4th.
Okay, so yes, this giveaway also ends November 4th. So we are going to be giving away a BQ 950, which is an awesome addition to the Quilt Club line. All you need to do, it's free to enter. It is absolutely free to enter. You don't have to do anything. All you need to do is fill out the form that we have.
It's just an email.
Yeah, it's just an email. That's it. That's literally it, you guys. You really don't have to do anything crazy. Let me go ahead and share this product page with you so you can take a look at the BQ 950. This is such an awesome machine. This is the page we have for the demo machine, but look at this machine. It is a great sewing and quilting machine. It's got 10 different buttonhole options. It comes with 15 different feet. You have so many things that you can do with this machine, and we've got a whole list of videos. We've got a bunch of education on this machine on the product page, but it's got a really pretty generously sized screen. You can see it kind of here on this video thumbnail. It's got some really great features, and this is a fantastic machine. It has, again, like I said, it has a bunch of buttonhole options. It's got an advanced needle threading system. You have some awesome, the awesome quick set bobbin. Love that. There are a lot of things that, there are also a lot of things that come with this machine too. So it does come with a zigzag foot, a monogramming foot, overcasting foot, zipper, blind stitch, buttonhole, button fitting, open toe foot. The list goes on and on. It also comes with a wide table, and it comes with everything else on this list as well. So if you want to sign up to win this fantastic Quilt Club machine, please go ahead, walk, do not run to the comments. We have a giveaway link down there below here. This is what the link is. Let me see if we can get this in the chat.
They can text giveaway.
Yes. Okay, guys, I forgot about this. Let's go ahead and put that down in the chat too. So you can text giveaway to enter yourself into this giveaway as well. I should have mentioned that earlier. Completely forgot about that. We do have the text set up. And yes, Benita, I definitely sign up. If you'd like to win it, absolutely sign up. It's an incredible machine. And we're giving it away. We're giving it away. So you have nothing to lose. It's totally free. You can either text or you can fill out the form that we have in the comments. But if you would like to text giveaway to 225-330-7441. That is 225-330-7441. So absolutely go ahead and sign up for that giveaway. It's a BQ 950. It is an awesome quilt club machine. And yes, Shirley, only enter once. Only enter one time. Cindy is registered to win. Good. And yes, definitely enter. Definitely enter. It is such a great machine, and you could win a free awesome brother machine. So I say go for it. I say go for it. Believe me, I would enter myself if I could win, but unfortunately I cannot, but that's okay. So definitely do that. And yes, Benita, the number is 225-330-7441. All you need to do is text giveaway to that number, and that will enter you into the giveaway. Text that number. Go ahead and text it. And let's see. So we just saw Wendy Chow from the Weekend Quilter. Coming up next, we are going to have Cindy Hogan talking about the ScanNCut, specifically the new ScanNCuts feature, the My Connection feature that you can use in conjunction, in harmony with your Luminaire XP2 if you have one. So after that, then we've got, hopefully we've got some people in the Wolf Pack watching, because we will have Angela Wolf demonstrating on the XP2 at 12:30 p.m. And yes, y'all enter that giveaway. I see everybody's entering in the chat. That makes me very happy. Yes, the BQ 950 is it's a great sewing and quilting machine. Again, it's part of the Quilt Club line. Absolutely do it. Liz, happy Friday. We made it to Friday. We did it. I couldn't be happier with the way I'm spending my Friday. Let's be honest. I hope that you guys are enjoying your Friday too. And let me know in the comments what projects you're working on. If you're working on any cool projects right now. I love to know. If you're like me and you're a very last minute person, then you're working on your last minute Halloween costume, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm working on some last minute Renaissance Fair costumes, etc., etc. And yes, Dealey is a member of the Wolf Pack. Good, because we are going to have Angela Wolf come on soon. We got Cindy West, another Wolf Pack member. Good. Let us know if you're a part of the Wolf Pack in the comments, because I like knowing. I like knowing. Angela Wolf is an amazing educator and awesome friend of the show, so I am super excited for you all to see her fantastic demonstration with the Luminaire XP2. I know those machines are a little daunting. I know when you're not very familiar with them, you can be like, oh my gosh, where do I start? But that is why we've got Angela Wolf showing you things that you can do with this machine. That's why we offer education in the store when you purchase. And that does bring me to another point that I wanted to bring up before we go ahead and bring on Cindy Hogan. Let me go ahead and share this for you. We are going to share our flyer for the Houston Quilt Festival right now on screen. So this is the flyer that we have for all of our Quilt Fest bundles. Let me go ahead and put this down in the chat as well. So this is the XP2. We're going to be talking about the XP2 very shortly with Cindy Hogan and with Angela Wolf. With this, if you buy it during the Quilt Fest, we are going to give you this XP2. We are going to throw in the new SDX 325 if you want one. Y'all, that is awesome. That is so cool. That is so cool. So if you would like to purchase an XP2, please go ahead and check out one of your AllBrands locations. If you are near one, these are all of our locations. We have one in Baton Rouge, where I'm at currently. We have one in New Orleans off of Betts, one in Slidell off the I-10 East Service Road, one in Lafayette off of Ambassador Caffrey Parkway, one in Houston in the Clear Lake area off of Egret Bay Boulevard, and one in San Antonio on West Avenue. So run, do not walk to your closest AllBrands store, and we are throwing this in. This is only something that we're doing. So definitely check us out. Or if you would like pricing, if you're interested, please call our 1-800 number. That is 1-800-739-7374. One more time, if you're watching and not listening, or if you're listening and not watching, it is 1-800-739-7374. Please give us a call for pricing. We are throwing in 14 things with this XP2. We are offering 60 months, 0% APR financing. This is the lowest price. Right now is the lowest price you will be able to get this XP2 for the year. So the only other time you are going to get a price this low is probably going to be the Quilt Festival next year. So just throwing that out there. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and toss it over to the booth and bring you our next brother educator.
Just tell me when it's time for me to go. All right, we're ready to go live. Hi guys, I'm Cindy Hogan, and we're going to talk today about our new ScanNCut SDX 330D or 325. That's the ScanNCut. How many of y'all know what a ScanNCut is? Okay. How many of y'all have? And that's a pretty good number. Pretty much everybody does. So if you can scan something in, you can cut it out. That is what makes the Brother ScanNCut unique to any other cutting machine on the market. Now, what is new to this one, the 330D comes with a rotary auto blade, which allows us to cut a multitude of non-traditional fabrics that we used to have a hard time doing. Things that you could never back, like laces and plush fabrics and craft felt, or as we like to call it, crap felt. You know, because that's the first thing anybody ever came up to me and said at a show. Can you cut wool or can you cut felt? And I would go, yeah, but you got to do this. Now I don't say, yeah, but you got to do this, because now I can cut it without any issue. The other thing that is new is a feature called My Connection, and My Connection is totally awesome. It is just really unleashes a multitude of things on a Luminaire machine. So you've heard us always say that our machines talk to each other. When we said that, we meant that the ScanNCut could read a PES file, a PHX file, or a PEC file, okay? Now it allows us to read, basically they actually do talk to each other. They are wirelessly connected through your Canvas workspace accounts, okay? So what that allows me to do is send any of my built-in ScanNCut files over here, besides Disney, and transfer them over to my Luminaire machine to use with my design center to create. At this time, you must have the Luminaire. It doesn't matter if it's an XP1 or an XP2, but you must have a Luminaire. Another reason to get a Luminaire, because it is absolutely the bomb of a machine. So My Connection is located over here on the right-hand side. So, excuse me, the left-hand side, my other right? The left-hand side of the ScanNCut home screen. Anything you want to send or retrieve from your Luminaire or to your Luminaire, you're going to My Connection key. From there, you choose, what are you going to do? Are we bringing something that we've previously sent from here to here? Or are we going to send something from the ScanNCut machine to the Luminaire? We're going to send something today. Our first one, we're going to choose send. We're going to choose a pattern. And let's pick us a pattern here. I'm going to go into my general category. And let's go into our holidays. I have one stitched out for you, so we'll use the one I have stitched out. Here we go. We'll grab our hat. I'm going to go ahead and touch OK. And let's grab all of the parts at one time. So that gets me both the band and the hat all at one time, which is the second option. If I wanted to bring them in separate colors, I could separately cut those out. But we're making an embroidery design, so I want them all, right? Let's go ahead and touch set. You'll notice that there's a gray area around the outside of that white area. That represents the largest hoop that the Luminaire machine can use, which is your 10 5/8 by 16-inch hoop. If you place your pattern outside of that area, it will gray it out and will not send it. You can fill up that entire white space if you want to. Today, I'm just going to send that file. I can resize it when I get there, or I could resize it now directly on this machine. I'm going to play with it on my Luminaire. So we're going to touch transfer. It's going to ask me if I want to replace the data that's floating out there in the cloud. I'm going to say yes. They're basically going out in space here. It's jumping from my Canvas workspace account over to the machine. So I'll say okay. And the transfer is now complete. Sorry about making you nauseous here. We're going to go to My Design Center, and we are going to choose our Stamps Shape key. Once my connection has been activated on the Luminaire, you get a new key here. This is called your Retrieve from your ScanNCut machine key. As long as the machine is connected to a wireless network, it will retrieve this. So there's the file I just sent. I'll touch OK. We've got it, right? So if I want it bigger, I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. Just hit the size button, make it bigger. Up, you'll see what size it is right here in this area. You can create a basic embroidery design, or you can create an applique. I'm going to go in here. You'll notice that since there's two parts of this, there's an overlapping line there. You can erase it just by grabbing your little eraser tool, reducing the size, and kind of erasing that. I actually erased a little bit too much, so let's undo and try it again. I'm much more precise with the stylus, so that might help. Darn it. All right. I'm not going to worry too much about that. We're going to come in and draw that line back in. That may be the faster method. There we go. So now I'm going to go pan over to the other side. Let me go to 1600 and I can erase a little bit easier. There we go. Now that's all erased. Let's go ahead and touch OK and zoom back out. We're going to make two colors for this one. So I'm going to grab my flood fill tool and I'm going to go into my properties key. This brings up, allows me to pick my color and pick my stitch type. I'm going with a basic fill stitch today because we're going to go make this fast and easy. We'll grab black and touch where we want the black to go. Did you notice that my black filled in on my band? That means I've got a bleeder somewhere. So let's undo. Where I erased, I got a little excited somewhere. And my guess is it's over on this left-hand side. Yep, there you go. That left-hand side where I erased initially, we'll just add a little bit there. Now let me zoom out. All right, now let's put that paint bucket back on. We've got an embroidery design. I'm going to come in and I'm going to grab purple for my band and touch where I want that to go. If you want to outline stitch on it, you can come in and grab your paint bucket again because we would flood fill it. Come in and choose your outline style. Do you want it to be a satin stitch? Do you want it to be a double run? Do you want it to be a triple run? What do you want? I'm going to go ahead and put it on a running stitch and basically paint it. And you have to touch every area that touches. So once you've done that and it clicks at you, you'll hear a beep, beep. You're good. We'll touch next. I'm leaving everything alone and I'm going to set it. I now have an embroidery design created from a shape on my ScanNCut, brought into my Luminaire. Beautiful artwork, ready to go. Now, that was good, right? But let's make it a little bit better. Because once my connection is activated on the machine, in your edit menu, you get a new key in your applique area. So this is the applique key that's always been on this machine. When I touch that key, this is what used to come up. This is a new key called Applique Patch for Selected Colors. Let's touch that and see what happens. I can choose the colors that I wanted to make an applique out of. So if I wanted the hat portion itself to be an applique and the band not to be an applique, guess what? I can do that. So I choose that. I touch next. I want to do something different. I want the whole thing to be one applique because I want to make a freestanding item. Okay? So I'm going to choose all of my colors first of all. So it's going to combine all of those areas together. We'll touch OK. We're going to put a regular satin stitch on it and touch preview. The light zigzag is a really nice, pretty light zigzag, but I wanted a freestanding applique. So I'm going to choose that one. Now, when I touch next, I still want my band to embroider. So I'm going to come down here and turn on that purple color. Touch the purple color tile, change it from no sew to sew, and it's ready to go. Touch OK, and my embroidery is ready to stitch. This is what I was able to do by doing that. Okay, now to send that file back over here, because remember I did resize it. We made it bigger. We want to make sure our fabric is going to be the correct size for our applique. We touch memory. You have a new key. This is your transfer back to your ScanNCut machine key. Let's touch that one. And it's going to take it a minute. It's going to ask me, do I want to replace the hat that I sent over? Yes, I do, because only one can be going back and forth at a time. So whatever you sent last is what's going to be out there. There you go. It's transferred it. Let's go back over to our ScanNCut and touch OK to delete all of our patterns. We go back into my connection. We choose retrieve this time because we are bringing it from the Luminaire into the ScanNCut from our wireless device. That's this. I didn't do that. That was not me. It was you, wasn't it? That was really timely there. All right. If your applique has been made on the Brother machine or in the Brother software, then you can use the applique patch for select the applique key on your embroidery file. If it was not created there, you would have to use the embroidery stitch data file. It was created here. We're good to go. You'll notice it picked out my applique piece. I touch OK. I touch set. And now I'm ready to cut that applique piece out. I don't know if I made it big enough, if I made it small enough for my fabric that I have to share with you today, but we'll see. Oh, we're going to have a witch that has she's going to have stars on her hat today. So I have a heat applied backing on my material. My suggestion to you is to make sure your heat applied material is well adhered to your fabric. If it is not, it will not cut well and it will stay on your mats. My mat has been used more than once. If yours is pristine and coming out of the box, rub a little dirt on it. Okay? Otherwise, this may adhere to your mat. If you like cutting with your paper on it, cut it face down on a fabric mat. If you are in doubt that you have it adhered well, cut it with the paper on your mat. I can get paper off, but getting this adhesive off your mat is a pain. So I'm going to lay this down. Ask us how we know. I'm trusting that we ironed this on well, but I'm not sticking it on there like super glue. I'm going to load my mat. What is special about a ScanNCut? You hear us talk about the scan, if you can scan something in, you can cut it out. But that's not all. You notice I just slapped my fabric down there. I didn't pay attention to where it was. This key right here is your background scan key. I touch start, and it's going to take a picture of what's on my mat. So it shows me visually where that is. Do I have enough fabric down there for it? I can use every scrap. I can actually fussy cut around different patterns in my fabric. I use that part of the scanning function more than I use the other part of the scanning function, to be perfectly honest. Once you've got it done, oh, looky there, magic. We do have enough fabric for this one. Since it came out of here, I don't need to add an offset to it. I don't need to do anything to it. If I purchased an applique pattern and I had sent it over here, depending on the digitizer, depends on how they have created that file. If the placement line goes right down the center of this covering stitch, you need to add an offset. The offset is found under the Edit menu, Object Edit. This is your offset key. That will do it proportionally around it all the way. If you just increase the size, it's not going to work as well, okay? It just stretches things and doesn't do it proportionally. All right, we're ready to cut. I'm going to go ahead and touch OK. Please select. What are we going to do? We are cutting. It can do more than cut, but we are cutting today. My half cut is turned on. Perfect. Let's live on the edge and start. All right, while that's doing its thing, I want to show you some other tricks over here on the Luminaire. What else does that applique key do for me? Let's go to the home screen and touch OK. And y'all can pass this around if you want. I'm going to go into embroidery. I'm going to select an embroidery design. So there are built-in embroidery designs. There are built-in applique designs on this machine. How do you know that it's an applique? When you touch the design and you touch set, you'll see the scissors here. That tells you that is meant to be cut, okay? So, and by the way, this is done cutting, just so we're clear on that. It was whisper quiet. You all did not know it was happening, right? But if I wanted to have that cut with my cutting machine, I simply touch the memory key, touch my transfer to the machine key, and it is done once I touch transfer again. So that's one of the ways. That's the easiest way, right? Let's go home because that one was already made. But it gets better. I can come in here, I can bring in any embroidery design besides Disney. And I will say any. Depending on how it was digitized, depends on how well this application is going to work. But you can take a design. I'm going to take this butterfly here because I have it and I can show you what it does. I have it stitched out already. Now you'll notice that there are 2 solid pink items there, right? I don't want them to stitch those 2 solid pink items. I want to show you the stitch count before I go further. So we're going to touch embroidery. This one has 58,992 stitches on it. Pretty long time to stitch. We're talking at least 60 minutes. Let's return. Let's make that down more like 30 minutes. So we're going to go into our edit menu, touch that applique key, touch applique patch for selected colors. And we'll touch our pink color tile and our other pink color tile and touch next. So it's going to create a patch from those 2 pink colors. Thank you for catching that. We don't want a big heavy satin stitch this time. We want that light zigzag, and I'm going to pass this around. If you would, please don't rub on my fabrics because then they'll fray. But I'm going to pass this around. The leaves and stems were done with the light zigzag that's on the machine, and that was done through my connection. Thank you so much, sweetheart. All right, we're going to do the light zigzag stitch and touch preview. Notice how it's created a patch out of those 2 colors. We're going to touch next. Now those 2 colors aren't going to sew. It's going to put a piece of allow me to put a piece of fabric there instead. I want to go a little bit further. I want to turn off my white because I don't really think I need that white today. So let's scroll down here. I'm going to grab that white. See, it's the left-hand side. Touch the no sew key so it doesn't sew. Let's scroll down here. Touch that one. On the right, touch the no sew key so that doesn't sew. We'll go OK. And now we're ready to transfer this to this ScanNCut machine. So we touch memory, transfer to the ScanNCut machine. You would then go cut out your pieces. Oh, all right. So now we're going to touch embroidery, and I'm going to let you see how many stitches I get. We are now down to 30,000 stitches, 793, which takes that design from about an hour or more stitch out to about 30 minutes or less, 30 minutes or more. And it's a nice soft embroidery instead of a stiff embroidery. I just throw things around. It's just kind of one of my things. What can I say? All right, I get too involved in what I'm doing. So here is my witch's hat. And I would stitch my placement stitch down, place this down over the top of it, iron it down, and then stitch actually, I would fast forward and do the purple and then come back and do all of the covering stitch. So I would use the plus minus on my machine because I can't break up that applique. So I would just use the plus minus to do my purple band. And then after it was all done, come back and do the covering stitch for everything. So that's that. How am I doing on time? Oh, I'm doing good, guys. So we can ask questions. Yes, Houston can certainly do HTV on the Brothers ScanNCut. You see what's across my chest? Yes. So do what? You can either use your low or your standard tack mount. Either one of those you can do. All right. So let me show you a few other things if nobody else has any questions. Evidently, I'm talking extremely fast today. No, the playbook does not cover my connection. But if you watch the Brothers Sews live from not this past Tuesday, but the Tuesday before, I went through all of my connection, and you can go back and watch that over and over. You can watch it on their Facebook channel or on their YouTube channel. They are not offering us that as an upgrade or an update for the other. So no, it is a new brain basically. So unfortunately, it's just a new brain. Okay, so if you look here, the birds are a shape out of the Luminaire. Yes, you can do what stuff in your Luminaire as well. So this is in my design center. This is taking the birds, simply coloring them in like I did before. So if I come over here and I go home, my design, oh, let me retrieve over on the other side. I just transferred that butterfly, right? I forgot to retrieve. Okay. So we want to come back from our Luminaire for that butterfly, correct? Garcon. Now it is. All right. So we're going to retrieve data. I'm too fast for him. And I've got too many moving parts, don't I? So we want to go to my connection. Sorry. My connection. Retrieve data. So those butterfly parts we were just talking about, we bring them from the sewing machine. And then they will land and you can cut them out. You don't have to resize them. You don't have to add any offsets. They are the perfect size. And that's the one that I passed around. So we would touch the badge. There they are. Touch OK. Touch set. And you're ready to go. So those will cut out perfectly. And you can tell how precise that was. And you can see that that light zigzag is really quite a nice stitch. It's one of my favorite stitches, I'll have to say. You can. I tend to use things in metric just simply because I'll size in inches and then I'll switch it over to metric to do any of my finessing just because I learned it that way. And I can change in smaller increments. So if you look here, this is a logo that is in your ScanNCut machine. So if I go into my connection and I touch send pattern and go into my sayings here, they call them logos. And if you didn't know, you got the months of the week and the days of the year if you want to do your panties for the rest of the year. We can come in and choose Bon Voyage. And let's come in here and grab Gather. That is the one I have here, right? So let's see here. They are in alphabetical order. I just have to get there. Gather and Grateful both are beautiful when stitched out. I will tell you that. Let's go ahead and set it. I'm going to transfer it over to my connection. This is also from the ScanNCut. It is one of the lace designs built in that I've just done as a fill stitch. And this is that flower that I was showing you that's built into the machine that was already an applique. And if you get the 325, oddly enough, this is the front cover design. We did not know that when we did this as a lesson. So here we are. We're going to go back to our stamp shape, retrieve from ScanNCut. I did send it, yes. Give it a second. There it is. There's Gather. Let's touch that one. And the reason I'm showing you this is because it has an outside and an inner area. If I just send it like this, it will only do, it won't do that middle part, okay? It won't, the applique won't work correctly if you wanted it in applique. If you just wanted a fill stitch, you're perfect regardless. We're gonna zoom in and touch inside the area. Now let's zoom out and see what we've got. Our gather is ready. You can turn on your outline. You can change it. Let's come in here, paint bucket, and change it to a triple stitch. Actually, I'm going to do that elsewhere. If I don't want to turn my outline on and I want to change it somewhere else and don't want to have to touch every single part of it, I come over here. Touch the next area, the arrow to get to the zigzag stitch there, and touch the link key. Now when I go in here, I can come grab the stitch, triple stitch, there it is, and it will change it all at one time. That way I don't have to touch each and every area. Now if I'm turning the outline off, I have to do it directly in my design center. But linking them to change your outline all at one time, that's the easiest way. Let's go ahead and set it, touch OK. There's your design and it's ready to sew. That is this word right here. Now with this one, if I wanted to turn it into an applique, I would touch edit, applique. We'll choose applique patch for selected colors. We're going to choose the red and touch next. This time we're going to go outsides and insides. That's the second key. This one does outside only, but this has an inside in that A, right? And in the E and in the H. Let's see what happens. Preview. It's going to tell me it doesn't like that. So we're going to change our zigzag width and change that stitch width down. So now there we go. If it's too wide of a zigzag and it would overlap in the middle, you can't do it, okay? So guys, my time is up with you. I hope you enjoyed today's presentation. I will be back at 4 doing BES Blue software with the ScanNCut, which also works with BES 4. This is the 330D. The new 325 and 330D both do the same My Connection feature. This one has Disney built into it and comes with the rotary auto blade. The other one comes with the fabric blade. So they both come with the standard auto blade, this one. This one comes with the standard mat, the low tack mat. The other one comes with the fabric mat and the standard mat. Those are the basic differences. They both come with the pen tool set that has the air erasable and water erasable. They both come with Brothers iron-on fabric contact sheets. Basically our version of double-sided adhesive. And that's it. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see y'all in a bit.
All right, everybody. So that was another fantastic demonstration by Cindy Hogan talking about the ScanNCut and the newest feature on the new ScanNCut, the My Connection feature. You can use this in conjunction with your Luminaire if you have one. And it is such a cool feature. It's so, so cool. Yes, Karen, it was a great demo. I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. Deborah says, I love how you can delete fill stitches. I wish this was a feature in Luminaire without My Connection. I really love this feature. I think it is so cool. It's so neat. Nilda says, great tutorial. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you all so much for tuning in. So let me go ahead and pull up our schedule so you can kind of see where we're at for the rest of the day. Now, so this is what we have. We just finished up with Cindy Hogan, and now at 12:30 p.m. Central Time, because we are in Central Time, so all of these times are Central Time over here. Angela Wolf is going to be coming up on the main stage and demoing on the Brother XP2. So get excited, Wolfpack folks, you members of the Wolfpack out there. I know you're watching, so I am excited for you to see this fantastic demo, and I hope you are too. Jenny Owen says, that was a great demo. Love Cindy Hogan. Right, Cindy's great. And if you haven't, we have done plenty of AllBrands shows in the past with Cindy. So definitely check those out. We have a whole playlist of the AllBrands show over on our YouTube channel, so you can watch every single episode we've done over there. So let's see. We've got Larry saying it's amazing what these machines can do. And right, I agree. These machines are really amazing, specifically the Luminaire, the top of the line Brother machine. It is really awesome. Now let me show you this really quickly while they're getting set up. I wanted to show you the pamphlet or the packet that we've got for the Houston Quilt Show. So we talked about the Luminaire a little bit in the last demonstration, and we're going to talk about it more today, or more in just a minute when Angela comes up to do a demo. So this is the XP2. You guys, if you have ever considered getting an XP2 at any point, now is absolutely the time to do it. This is the lowest price that we are going to have this at the festival for all year, essentially. So once the festival ends, the cheapest you'll probably be able to get this machine again is the festival next year. So definitely walk, do not run to your nearest AllBrands store if you are close by. We are throwing in $6,300 in extra value. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. Hopefully that is a little bit better. So this is what we have right now. We are throwing all of this in with your purchase of an XP2 during the festival. So we are offering PE Design 11. We are throwing in a new ScanNCut, the new SDX 325. That was the one that Cindy was demonstrating on. The new ScanNCut. Now, if you do purchase this XP2, you can pick up that ScanNCut and you can start using My Connection straight away. So definitely consider that. We're also throwing in a 4-piece luggage set, and we are throwing in the Angela Wolf Masterclass, so you can learn everything you need to know about the XP2 from the awesome Angela Wolf, who's going to be demoing very, very soon. We are also throwing in the XP2 playbook. So we are just giving you all of the instruction. If you're not familiar with the Brother playbooks for some of their machines, what they are a group of, or they're a set of tutorials in a nice convenient little book for you, a little spiral book that will show you different ways to get comfortable using your machine and little projects that you can do along the way while you're learning more about how your machine works. The XP2 playbook was put together by some really amazing Brother educators, one of which I believe was Cindy. So definitely check that out and read. And oh gosh, that playbook is so good. There was one for the XP1. Unfortunately, it's out of print since the XP2 is new and that one is in there now. But the XP2 playbook is full of information, full of tutorials, full of everything you need to know.
And it'll work if you have the upgrade.
Yes, and yes, if you have the XP1, if you have the upgrade for the XP1, then you can still use that XP2 playbook on the XP1. So definitely do that. We're also throwing in the My Design Artist Pen, the Dime Stabilizing DVD, some exquisite stabilizer samples just for you to get started. And something that is kind of overlooked is the Dime Embroiderer's Compass. That is so useful and so helpful. It's such a nice little nifty thing to have on you for your projects. I love it so much. We're also offering in-store instruction, free shipping throughout the contiguous US, and your regular local Brother dealers, full warranty service, repair support, everything. And 60 months, 0% APR financing. So this is the best deal you are going to get on this machine. And I just want to point out that we are the only dealer creating this package. No other Brother dealers are throwing it together or doing this or throwing all of this in together with your purchase like we are. So if you're interested in this machine, please do us a favor and call the 800 number. Call 1-800-739-7374. That is 1-800-739-7374. We have customer service reps on the line right now helping you out with pricing, any information. So please give them a phone call if you are interested in a machine that you may have seen throughout the festival. They are there to help you. And we've got so many other people joining us in the chat. Chantel, good morning. Good morning, Chantel. It's really great to see you. And guys, if you missed anything, don't stress. You can watch the replays once we go off the air. You can watch the replays for yesterday and Wednesday already. So now it is time for the awesome Angela Wolf. In just a few minutes, we will be getting started very, very soon. So let me see. Go ahead and drop a wolf pack in the chat. Let me know if you are watching and you're a member of the wolf pack, because I just want to know. I love seeing where our viewers are, what sort of thing you're interested in. We are offering a lot, but there's definitely a wide range of interests within our audience. So I really enjoy seeing that. just want to let you all know too that again, we are doing that mask decorating contest, that Halloween or fall mask decorating contest. So please go to allbrands.com/mask if you are curious or if you want to know more about that competition. You really don't have to do anything super crazy. Decorate a CDC approved mask that make it Halloween or fall themed, and go ahead and submit that on our website. And then you can vote on your favorites. And if you win, you can win an SC 1900, you can win a jerky flat cap frame, a dime magnetic hoop, and a So Steady mask template. That is over $1,000 in prizes for that lucky winner. So if you have not yet, absolutely enter that. You got nothing to lose if you already got a Halloween mask rolling, sitting around. I do. So definitely go ahead and consider entering into that. It's going to be awesome. And I'm very, very excited to see more entries in there. We've already gotten a lot, but I'm definitely excited to see more. Yes, I like Angela Wolf too. And Angela Wolf will be coming very, very soon. Wolfpack member here, try never to miss Angela whenever she's on. Yes, Angela is so awesome. She is an absolutely fantastic educator and really just makes everything look so easy. Robin Rose says, proud member of the Wolfpack. Good, good. It makes me so happy to see so many people, so many members of the Wolfpack over here in the chat. What are you guys working on right now, by the way? Like, what are your projects that you're working on? I love knowing. So drop that in the chat. But while we wait for those replies to come in, let's toss it over to the booth in Houston and let's see Angela.
So first off, it is so awesome to see all of you in person after 2 years. I've seen many of you virtually, so I feel like I've already been hanging out with you for a while. But for those of you that don't know me, I'm Angela Wolf. You can find me at angelawolf.com. And by the way, today I'm showing the Luminaire. And anyone who here has the Luminaire? Oh, yes. Are any of you in my online class? Wonderful. The people that buy the new Luminaire, you automatically will get that class for free. It's about 54 videos, I believe, or 54 hours. I can't remember. But it's a lot of chapters, and it walks you through working on this machine from beginning to end. And I even included turning it on because my mother has a machine that's electronic and she'll call me and ask me how to start the thing. So I went from beginning to end. So a couple of things I wanted to just show. I only have, a half an hour. And for those that are part of the Wolf Pack, we're going to meet back here afterwards too. So don't worry, I'm not running anywhere. But I wanted to show you some of my favorite things on this machine. So how many of you quilt? Obviously a lot of you because you're here. How many of you sew garments? Okay, embroidery. Oh yeah, and embroidery is really addictive. It can get expensive too, but once you start, I always said I would have embroidered the cat if he was still alive. So, and that's not how he died, by the way, but he is dead. So I'm going to show you the back side of this piece here because you can see it better than the front. This is actually my fabric. And I made this a while ago and I still haven't put it into anything because it's so pretty and I use it for samples. So this was a combination of free motion embroidery and using the Move It foot that you've probably seen on here. But what this machine, you just saw Cindy, many of you were here for how it talks to the ScanNCut, but it does way more than that. So I want to show you some of the sewing things. So I'm going to make sure I'm not in your way. Oh, that's really low. I'll just stand. Can you see I'm not in your way? Okay. So on the sewing side, and I'll put a piece of fabric under here because you'll probably be able to see better. And you just yell if I need to move somewhere where you can't see. All right. Decorative stitches. I love decorative stitches. I will add them to trims on my wrist. I will add them to pants. So on here, you can click through here and pick a gazillion decorative stitches. You can see this screen is very easy to navigate. Where are you guys looking anywhere? Can you see it? You just yell to him back here. He's the pro. So you can scroll through here. There are a ton of different stitches. You've got buttonholes, but something that's really cool on this machine that's not on any other machine, I'm just gonna pick a stitch. And if you look here, this is a projector. And when I click that, now go to there. Can you see this up here? Oh, somebody didn't press. We've got to go to Laurastar and have them press my fabric. All right, so This is so awesome. It's like having a computer on your sewing machine, but trust me, it's easy to work. The hardest thing is just remembering to have an extra battery around if you use this too much. So it's just a little button that you press on here. And as I press this, I can scroll through any of the designs. So if I click here, though I think this, I need a battery. Oh, see, the light's on. Told you that's the hardest part, remembering you got his dang battery. All right, so I'm going to click right here. And when you do that, can you see what comes up here? All of the stitches. So what it shows you is the stitch that you chose and each stitch on either side. So if you were going to do maybe attach an applique, or you're doing a decorative stitch and you want to see what is this going to look like on my fabric, there it is. And I can click the arrows and it scrolls through. The one in the middle is the one that I've chosen, and it shows you the two on each side, just to give you a little heads up. You can scroll through any of the gazillion decorative stitches on here. When you find one you like, let me find a little, this is one of my favorites. Just click set, and there it is. You're ready to sew. Now, right now I have an embroidery foot on here, so I can't sew. But let me show you what else you can do with this. So this is a new feature that they've added where you can click on these colors right here. So maybe you're using a different color fabric and you can't see everything very well. See how it changes the background color here for the projector? Well, that really comes in handy because maybe you're using green and you can't see it very well. Or maybe you have something like this where you can hardly see it. You can change it to be different colors or brighter. So how many of you have ever watched any of my live shows? I have live shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and like 3 other days. But a lot of times I have a camera right on here and it looks like a rainbow. That doesn't come with the machine, but it's just a camera effect. Now, one more thing, while you're here, so instead of going back and forth, you can change the stitch width. You can see it's getting bigger. You can change the length. There's so many different options. And then when you're done, you can just sew. You can leave that on, or I click the X usually. It goes away, and you can sew. So that is the projector for the sewing side. Very cool. A lot of people say, why would I need that? Well, I'll tell you, have you ever tried ripping out a decorative stitch that you started and you thought it was going to look a certain way and you're like, yeah, that isn't fun. That's almost as bad as ripping out on the serger. All right, so let me show you a few more cool things on here. In the home screen, you have, can you guys see over here? We'll go camera 1, camera 2. And then there's everybody on YouTube. All right, so we got sewing, embroidery, Disney, and My Design Center. So if you've been watching At Your Side virtually on the Brothers site, you are probably fed up with My Design Center. Or I have friends that say, I don't have My Design Center, please quit showing it because now I want it. So My Design Center actually comes on a lot of the Brother machines, but let me just show you how this works, because then you also have a projector on here that's fantastic. So here's My Design Center. This is where you can scan in, and I have it right here. You can actually take a drawing. You see those coloring books? I swear, when COVID hit, that's all they have now. They must think that that's all we do at home is sit there and color, but there are a lot of coloring books now. You put a sheet on here, you can scan it in the machine, and it shows right up on the screen. Oh, yeah. Look, did you draw that? There's the coloring book. And you can, thank you, Barb. I actually scanned in my signature and attached it to a bunch of gifts last Christmas. Half of them are finished, half of them are not. So now I have half of my Christmas presents for next year with my signature. Thankfully, I'm still married, so my name's the same. You know, that would be really embarrassing. All right, so let me go in My Design Center. And you can scan. Can you guys see this screen here? Yeah. Great. So you can do an image scan, you can do a line design, you can do an illustration design. I'm not going to go through all of these because you'll be like, whew, but the class that I teach that you get for free that shows you a lot of this. Actually, I'm going to do a line design. Maybe. There we go. And now it will scan. How many of you were here in the older days with the Dream Machine? Do you remember the Dream Machine? That did the scanning. except it's a little bit more precise now. And also, some of you might, how many here has the Stellaire? That's a great machine. And then you have the My Snap app, where you have your phone and you can take a picture. Well, did you know that you can use that same app that's free and use it with this machine too? It's more precise on what you're putting into the machine. So you can take a photo, put it in. My Snap app. Ooh, yeah. So this will scan this in, and I'm going to show you a little bit about my design center and the projector. So the projector that I just showed you for sewing, by the way, is really good for embroidery, because I don't know about you, but I just want to embroider and get it done and make sure it goes in the right place. Placement is a really bad thing. I mean, it could be a bad thing. If any of you watched the live show last Tuesday, you know my hand-dyed top was a really bad thing because I had two hands that they really weren't hands, but on camera they look like two hands. So let me just bring this in. Can you see the screen right here? One to the right. You don't want to embroider the magnets, and you can make this darker, lighter, and then just click OK. Click set, and boom, you're all ready to start playing with this little guy. So I'm going to see if I can squeeze down here. You can add fills. A lot of you like to quilt. I'm not very good at it, but I am with this. I call it quilt embroidery. You hit a button and it fills it. So I'm just going to add a shape to this. There's a triangle. You can move it around wherever you need it to go. I'm going to click size. As you can see on this screen here, you can change just about anything. I'm going to bring that down. Bring this up here. I don't know why he wants a diamond on his head, but it just seems to look good. Here's a fill button right here. That's a bucket. You can choose to add any color you want. I'll do something bright so you can see it. And then you have the options. This is where you can add satin stitches. This is where you can add any like free motion. It kind of looks like quilting. And then you have all of these, including, they didn't even do this for me, but they even have ones with fish. And click that, click OK. And then if I just touch inside that triangle, it fills it. So you've probably seen a lot of people that use the huge hoop, which I do, because I embroider all my sleeves and garments and things like that. So now with this, I can bring in a design or my name or anything, have a shape outside of it, touch a button, and it fills it with stippling or whatever you want. Now, not only that, I'm going to take it to the next screen. And now you have a lot of options, more options than we ever had in the past. So you can change the density, you can change the angle of the fish, maybe, or I'm using fish, okay, but you don't have to. But you can change any of these things here. Let's see if I can make this kind of skewed. Random shift, that's a fun one. And then if you look closely on the screen, see how the fish kind of, they just got ran over or eaten or something, I don't know. But that's how easy it is. So now I can actually embroider the bear. I can embroider all of that in a few easy steps. Now, I wouldn't do that, but you get the idea? So in my design center, you can add fills, you can add satin stitches, you can change the stitches that you have on the outside of your design to triple stitch or single stitch. How many of you have ever made a mug rug, like an in the hoop mug rug? They're so easy, and they're the best gifts ever. I have like 10 of them saved in my machine. Monica, you were at my studio. You probably saw all the Christmas presents I need to finish. But you can literally make a little mug rug in here, design it, put your signature in, or put, something cool like that. My grandmother, I still have like a stack of her clothes after she passed. It sounds morbid, but I'm going to cut them up and make little mug rugs or pillows for all the, except my nieces and nephews keep having more kids. There's going to be a lot to do. I better get on it. All right, so let's look at the projector. I'm going to click set here. That turned it into embroidery, and that's all you had to do for embroidery. I'm going to click the home button, and we're just going to start over. I want to show you something for the embroidery side. That is embroidery, but let me show you something else. So in the embroidery, if you haven't noticed all of the designs here, there are a ton of designs. There's one category here. Let's see if I can find it. I'll bring this one up. Some of you might remember a dress that I designed for Brother a few years back. This was the design I did right in the whole front of lace. But I want to pick something smaller because I want to show you the projector. So I had my nephews over, and they think this is the best iPad ever. So I have to be very careful because they like to play. So I told them you can pick your own design. I sent them on iBroidery. They didn't want anything in here. Although one of them picked this one. So I click set, and he has his onesie. Well, it's not a onesie. He's like 6. It's a looks like a onesie, just a long jacket with a zipper. And there was only one little spot that didn't have a pocket. And I'm thinking, how am I going to embroider this and make it look good? And if he doesn't like it, then I got to go buy another one. So I'll bring my fabric up here just so you can see. After I bring that up, I can then use the projector right here, and it will display it directly onto my fabric. So I was able to get it right next to his zipper. See this on, can you see this on here? That is so cool. Now back to the screen, see this red box here? If I move this around, because it's only like a small area where the projector goes, I move that box around and now it shows me back on here exactly what's in that red box. So then I'm able to move the design over if I want to. I can twist it, I can turn it, maybe you didn't hoop it correctly. You look like a pro, by the way. All with a few clicks, super easy. The only mistake I made is I accidentally grabbed his younger brother's and embroidered on that. And so then we got together for our group photo and he's like this. I'm like, Cody, what happened to your jacket? I accidentally gave him Austin's. And then Austin looks like he's wearing his dad's shirt. Well, you'll grow into it. But they're very cute. So that is the projector. That is something that is this is the only machine that has that projector, in case you're wondering. So there are some things on this machine that you might find on others, but the projector is the main coolest thing. Oh, how am I doing? Okay? Okay. So I have 7 minutes. So in 3 minutes, we're going to do a drawing for these giveaways. Do you want to just have them name numbers? They can just remember their numbers. Okay. If you can remember. I usually can't. All right. So that's the projector. Any questions on that? And by the way, this machine does so much that when I first got it, when it first came out, I spent the whole first year still learning. I'm still learning. When I do the live shows, I'll say, I didn't know it did that. Did you know that this circle, that if you stop the red button here when you're embroidering, that it will slow down your embroidery? That's a new one. I didn't know that. So anyways, you have the Wi-Fi on here. I want to point out just one more thing that I'm not sure if anybody's showing, but I'm going to show this specifically this afternoon. So when you do quilting, a lot of times you want to do a beautiful border. Well, I do very small quilting, and I also love garments. So let me just go back into embroidery here. Thank you. You're hired. When I click on Q, look at all of these borders. And there's more, and there's more. So now they even have different shapes. So in the class, I actually show you how to take one of these, and I added it to a whole piece of fabric about this big. So when you have this, that's really cool. Click set. And I'll talk more about this afternoon, but you can give this any dimensions you want. And if you look on here, you can pick the hoop you're going to use. Maybe you're using a small hoop. Maybe you're using a large one. You pick any size hoop. Then it tells you, number 1, pick a number. It tells you between 7 and 102. That's big. So you can make this any size you want. I'm just going to say 8. Then it takes you over to number 2. And I'm just going to say 3. Click set and next. Now, this is really cool. It either gives you all of these pieces individually, and I'll show you this afternoon how you can embroider those together. It walks you through it, like literally. At first, I was like, whoa, this is way over my head. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to hoop it correctly. Well, first try, I failed. Second try, I got it just right. Because the first time I failed because I just rehooped it and didn't look at the screen, and it told me exactly how to hoop my fabric, and I screwed that up. So here you click to memory. I can bring this back up now. And you can see you either have the whole thing that'll embroider in one, or I have all of these pieces now. You embroider, and it will move you all the way around you'll look like a pro. At least I did, and I don't even know what I was doing. So that is another cool feature on here that they haven't had before. So I want to share this. This was a gift that one of the Wolfpack gave me at one of the classes. It's a quilted for my curling iron. Although I must have been tired this morning because I opened it up and there was no curling iron in there. So I'm really glad it's humid here because it wouldn't have mattered. But she made this on here. And if you look closely, it has all the beautiful quilting She added the proud member of the wolf pack to the top, and she did all of this on the Luminaire. So super, this would be a great gift too. So any questions? So just so you know, I will be over at these machines. We have everyone over here at the machines to help as well. And then those of you that wanted to get a photo with the wolf pack will be back here too. But I have a giveaway. Now, this is, I'm so excited you carry these. She sells these in the back over here, but a friend of mine came to my sewing studio and gave me this as a gift. Now, I never thought of makeup brushes. That's brilliant. It looks like this. And you can stick stuff in there. Glad I had that laying around. So let's do this really fun. We'll start with you. Everyone say a number and don't repeat somebody else's. Okay, 1. We don't know yet. You be 1. No, you got to go in order. 2. Okay. 31. Who am I missing? So it's up through 30. Are you 33? Okay, 31 through 32. 32 was the last number, right? Yeah.
So, do you think, because Angela, we promised that we were going to do the scissor dance?
Oh, no, Monica.
When somebody wins, we all have to jump up and do the scissor dance for this person.
Oh.
So the scissor dance is, wait.
I'm not, Monica has to do it. I can't really, she said to just move my hips, but I'm not really sure. I don't have the whole action, and my skirt might fall down. There is.
So we have a winning number, and it is
Number 14. Who's number 14? Here you go. Pass it back. There you go. Congratulations. All right, I've got a hat now for the next winner. You get one of these if you buy a machine, by the way. Just tell your husband. No, that sounds terrible, because when I say that to my husband, he's like, give me a break. I needed to buy a hat or I needed to buy a serger so it could go with my Luminaire. All in one package. Okay. Brother hat. And the number is 28. Congratulations. I love your pants. Actually, your pants were showing up in the camera and I thought they were faded green. They're really jeans. All right, we have one more of these. And the number is 11. Oh, that's my favorite number. Congratulations. Enjoy for your makeup brushes. And a hat. Number 4. Well, thank you, everyone. And I'm going to go back here to the booth. Those that wanted to say hi and have any photos, we're going to have a team down here. You want to play on this machine, you should play. You really can't screw it up. And if you buy the machine, you get me in the box. Literally, kind of. But you'll love the class. So thank you, everyone, for coming. And I'll be back on at 5.
All right, you guys, that was another fantastic presentation on the XP2 from the amazing Angela Wolf. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that you learned something new about the XP2. And remember, you guys, we are giving away a BQ 950. This is one of the other machines in Brothers Quilt Club collection. So do not miss out on that giveaway. Now, I'm going to tell you how to enter. You can enter 2 different ways. So number 1, we do have a link to sign up. We have a link in the chat right here. It's my signupanywhere.com link. All you need to do is fill out that form. It's free. You don't have to do anything else. Or if you don't want to do that, you can text giveaway to 225-330-7441 to enter into that giveaway. Now, you can go ahead and text that number. I did get a question about that. a little bit further up. I don't remember who said it. Oh yes, somebody was asking if you get a confirmation text message when you enter. I'm still not sure about that. I'm waiting to hear back on whether or not that is whether or not you do get a confirmation text, but I will let you know as soon as I find out. But go ahead and text giveaway to that 225 number, 225-330-7441, and that will also enter you into the giveaway for the BQ950. Now, guys, we just did a demo on the XP2, and I want to show you what all comes with the XP2 when you purchase it this weekend at the Quilt Festival. So this is the XP2. It is, I'm sure, as you have seen over the course of the weekend, it can do everything and then some. This is such a cool machine, y'all. It does everything. This is Brother's top of the line sewing, embroidery, quilting, etc. machine. It's awesome. So it's got a giant screen. It's got about a 10.1 inch touch screen over there on the machine. It also has capabilities like My Design Center. It's also got that stitch vision and embroidery design projection, so you can preview stuff on your fabric before you stitch it out. It's so cool. It's so cool. I love it. So the thing that I did want to draw your attention to is that we are giving away 14 different things with this package. Now, this is $6,300 in added value when you purchase this machine this weekend of the festival. Not only are we throwing in that rebate for PE Design 11, we are also throwing in the brand new ScanNCut. Yes, the SDX 325. And it is not a daily entry. I believe you can only enter one time to the giveaway. I will check up on that, but I'm fairly certain it's only a one-time thing. So we are throwing in this brand new ScanNCut with this XP2. So if you saw Cindy's demo earlier today, you can use the My Connection feature with this new ScanNCut and your XP2. It's so cool. It is so cool. If you didn't see that, you can go back and watch it. We did this demo yesterday and we did it a little bit earlier today. So take a look at that. It's fantastic. We're also throwing in luggage. And like Angela Wolf said, if you purchase this XP2 during the weekend, you get Angela in the box. Yes, we are giving you Angela Wolf's masterclass with a purchase of the XP2. She is going to run you through everything you need to know about this machine. Like she mentioned in the demo, she even starts with just turning it on. So she is going to give you a really thorough, in-depth instruction on how this machine works and how you can use it to do whatever you like. The sky's really the limit with this machine. It's true and it's awesome. Not only that, but we are throwing in the XP2 playbook, just some more education for you, and we are throwing in some in-store instruction as well. So if we are offering you every single opportunity to learn about this machine if you purchase it at the Quilt Festival. And something else that I did want to point out is that we are offering 60 months 0% APR financing on this machine for the weekend of the Quilt Show. So this is the lowest price you are going to be able to get the XP2. If you want one, if you are curious about this, do not run to your nearest AllBrands store, because we are the only ones that are doing this package. We are the only ones that are throwing all of this in with the purchase. These are our store locations. This is what we've got. The Baton Rouge store is where I'm at currently. The New Orleans store should open, unfortunately, next week. I believe by the beginning of next week. It's still closed due to damage from Hurricane Ida. We have one in Slidell that is open off of the I-10 East Service Road. We've got one in Lafayette off of Ambassador Caffrey Parkway. We've got one in Houston in the Clear Lake area off of Egret Bay Boulevard, and one in San Antonio on West Avenue. So guys, show up. Go to your store. If you're not near a brother, if you're not near us, please call that 800 number. Call 1-800-739-7374 for pricing and more information, and we will get that to you. This is an incredible machine, and I would hate to see you miss out on this incredible package, the financing, and the lowest price. These are the lowest prices of the year. The only other time you are going to be able to get a machine at this price is next year for the Quilt Festival. So if you are even considering purchasing an XP2, now is the time. But not only that, we're doing some other awesome packages for machines like what you're going to see next, which is the XJ1. Now let's take a look at that schedule, show you what we got coming up next for the rest of the day. Right now, we've got Jerry Granata, who is going to be doing another demonstration on the Stellaire XJ1, another really fantastic brother machine that deserves some love. It is great. It is so useful. Such an awesome machine. I love it. And then we're going to be changing things up a little bit. We have Coleen Swettman right after Jerry, who's going to be talking about Brothers PR multi-needle machines. And then we're going to hear from Laurastar one more time and have another demo, kind of like the one that you saw at 10:30 this morning. So if you missed Amanda Murphy's this morning, you will get another opportunity to see a Laurastar demo at 2 p.m. After Monica, this is really important. So I want to make sure everybody knows this. After Monica, we are going to be swapping over to a new broadcast link. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going live for the rest of the day. We still have, I think, about 5 more hours of coverage of the Houston Quilt Fest for us. We will still be live. We're just going live on a different link. It's going to be a part 2 of the day, just because Facebook will cut the video off if we go for over 8 hours. And we don't want that. We want you to still be able to go back and rewatch everything and make it a little bit more digestible for all of you at home. So I will drop the link to that in the chat as soon as we are about to change over. And if you're already subscribed to our YouTube channel or our Facebook page and you've got notifications turned on for either one of those, you will get a notification when we go live there on that link. So with that said, if you haven't yet, please go ahead and like us on Facebook. We are allbrands.com on Facebook, and we are AllBrands Corporate on YouTube. So if you haven't yet, please go ahead and leave us a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and make sure that you have notifications turned on so that way you get notified when we go live again on our next video today, because we have way more coverage of the day and we've got more coverage for the rest of the weekend. We're going to be doing this part 1 and part 2 both today and tomorrow, and I don't want you to miss out on any content. Now, with that said, if you've missed anything at all during the Quilt Festival, that's okay. Don't worry. These videos will be available to rewatch as soon as we go off the air. So all of the videos from yesterday, the 2 from yesterday, both part 1 and 2, the morning and afternoon, are already available for rewatch on our Facebook and our YouTube. Those are good. And then you can also watch them on our website, allbrands.com/quiltfest. But now it's time. So let's go ahead and bring it over to Jerry demonstrating on the Stellaire XJ1.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Jerry Granata, and I am a brother educator. And I am so excited to be at the Houston Quilt Festival. I hope you are too. It's, I did have, well, kind of. I might have had a beard. I'm not sure. But I am so excited to be anywhere, but especially the Houston Quilt Festival. Is everybody having a great show so far? All right. I am a brother educator. I am from Palm Springs, California. And I am thrilled to be here at Quilt Festival. And I hope the viewers at home are having a great time watching all of this. And I'm so thankful to AllBrands to do this. But let's talk about the real star of the show today. It's this Brother Stellaire XJ1. This is a sewing and embroidery combination machine. If you already have a sewing machine, I will say a brother sewing machine that you love, Brother has absolutely brilliantly split this machine into 2 machines. So there's the XJ1, which is sewing and embroidery, or the XE1, which is embroidery only. So if you have a sewing machine that you love, you can get the same beautiful features on the XJ1 as on the XE1. It just won't have sewing. That's all. So it's embroidery only. And you will get all of the My Design features, and we're going to get into that just a little bit. So on my main screen, you see that we have Sewing and Embroidery, Disney, and My Design Center. The thing that makes this so amazing is that you have the ability to place something in your hoop, take a picture of it, and it will wirelessly send over to your machine so that you can then play with it and manipulate it however you need to. So I'm going to be working with My Design Center today mainly, but I want to show you, I'm going to sit down to do this. I'm going to show you on your mobile device, you are going to download an app called the My Design Snap app. This will work in conjunction with your hoop. There are markings on your hoop that will work with the app. So all you're going to do is lay whatever it is you want to send to your machine in your hoop and snap a picture of it. It will then wirelessly scoot right over to your machine without any problem. And then you can manipulate it. So let's just start with a little flower design, right? Very simple, very simple. Simple little flower design. Nice little outline. You could use a coloring book page. You can find something on the internet, maybe a pattern that you like. But let's see what we can do with this. So I placed this in my hoop and snapped a picture of it. And we're going to go look for where that is. Now, this is a line design. So I'm going to touch line. Now, I brought it in wirelessly. So I'm going to touch the wireless icon because that's where I want to go find my image. And here are files. There are going to be a few files here of whatever it is you've taken a picture of. So let's go see where this picture is. There it is. So let's set this because we want to play with this just a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is I want to take my red arrows and I'm going to crop this much like I would a picture. And I'm pulling those red lines as close to my design as I can get. We'll go down here. And then I'm going to touch OK. And then I'm going to touch set. Now you see that my background is still there, but now it is just a background image. Well, I don't need it for now, so I can get rid of it. And there we go. Now, we have our flower. Our flower, just that simply, has now been digitized. I can stitch this out exactly as you see it, and it will stitch out beautifully. The Stellaire defaults to a satin stitch, which is lovely, but I want to do something, I want to jazz that up just a little bit. So I want to make my outline just a bit different. So where am I going to go? I have two sets of boxes here. The top one is called my line properties area. If I want to change a line, that's where I'm going to go. Rob, is the video flipped? Okay, there we go. So the top box is my line properties. So if I want to work with the lines such as this, that's where I'm going to go. If I want to fill in each of the petals or I want to fill in the background, I'm going to go to my region properties. This is my fill properties area. So for now, I want to work with the line. So I'm going to go inside the menu because I want to show you what you can see. So as you can see, it defaults to a satin stitch. Now I can choose a single stitch, a triple stitch, candle wicking, or this diamond pattern. In this case, I'm going to change to a candle wicking stitch. And I'm going to change the color to red so that you can see it clearly. And touch OK. Now, much like you would paint a wall, I'm going to grab my little paint bucket because I need to fill this. And all I'm going to do is touch the line. Notice how it changed to red. That told me that it has now changed to my candle wicking. But I can't see my candle wicking yet, can I? So let's see where you need to go to do that. Let's go to Next and Preview. And watch the magic happen. Isn't that amazing? So I can now preview what is on my screen. So this is going to stitch out exactly the way that I see it. And that's fine, but it's a little plain. I want to play with this just a little bit. So let's go back. Another thing I want to show you, did you notice that there was a little line down here? So let me go to preview to see it a little easier. So right down here, there's a little black line, right? I don't want that. So how am I going to get rid of it? Very simply, touch the eraser icon. I'm going to change it to large, and watch this. I'm going to bring this up. Go back. And I'm going to take my eraser, and I'm just going to erase that line. So let's go to preview. Notice my line is gone. I just erased it. Isn't that magical? So imagine you had like a flower and a butterfly, but you didn't want the butterfly. You could just take your eraser tool and erase it, and it won't stitch it out. So let's have some fun. Let's go fill these petals with just a couple designs here. I like this pattern, so I'm going to keep that selected. Now I'm going to go into my region properties and touch the paint bucket. And watch this. Oops. So I can start filling these petals with all sorts of fill patterns. So let's see how this is going to look. Why? Because we have a preview screen. So let's check our preview. You see my designs are now filled in my petal? And that's pretty, but it's a little open. I want to make that design a little smaller so that it looks more filled in. So let's see how we do that. Let's go to the next page, and right down here, you have a percentage. Right now it's at 100%. I'm going to lower this down to about 50% so that you can see it. And we're going to preview. Do you notice how much denser this design is than this one? So I was able to reduce the size so it fits in that petal and it looks better, I think. So from here, I can just go on and I can play with it. I can even add a background if I want to. So let's see what that will look like. And I want to show you the fill patterns. You don't just have one, you have 15 fill patterns at your disposal. 15. So let's choose, let's choose this herringbone, or this diamond pattern. And let's change that to blue. And then let's touch the background. Notice how it just filled the background, but it didn't go inside my flower. It's just going to be in the background. So let's preview this. Let's see what this is going to look like. Isn't that amazing? That is exactly how this will stitch out. I love that you can audition what it is you've chosen so that you can see if that's really what you want or if you need to make some adjustments. Now that's a pretty open pattern. So let's go back and let's see what happens when I reduce that to 50%. Preview. Okay. Notice how that diamond pattern shrunk. So now it's more dense and the flower stands out more, which that's what I want. So once I'm happy with where it's at, I can then stitch it out. And so here's a sample of what I did with that flower. Now, because I used a matching bobbin thread, it's reversible. Pretty cool, huh? So let me show it here so everyone at home can see this. So there's my flower. And again, I used a matching bobbin thread. So there is the corresponding bobbin thread. You could get rid of that as well. Yep, you can easily get rid of that. Okay, so I made another sample. Using some of the built-in redwork designs. Now again, of course, they call it redwork. You're free to choose whatever color you like. In my case, I chose a dark blue, and I used a metallic linen, a cotton, and a lame, because that's what I do. I'm fancy that way. So I chose the children with the Christmas tree design. And if you notice, it's easier to see from the back. Can you all see this okay? Just want to make sure. You notice how there's a blank space here, but I have fill pattern around it because I didn't want the fill pattern to go over my design. So how did I do that? Well, let's see. Do you remember how I put my flower in the hoop and took a picture of it? I did the same thing with my little sample. All right, so I have a sample of my design stitched out. I placed that in the hoop, took a picture of it, and it wirelessly sent over to my machine. So let's go find that design. Let's go to background. That should be the second one. There it is. We're going to set that. And there is my background. That's exactly what I took a picture of. Isn't that incredible? I just think that's amazing. But first, we need to go into embroidery and we need to choose that design because we have to work with this a little bit. So I'm going to go to category 6. There's all my redwork designs. I'll choose number 6. Isn't that the cutest little thing? I just think that's the cutest little design. I'm going to set that. Now, what I need to do is create a boundary around this design and then a boundary around the box so that I can fill in between the two and my fill pattern isn't going over my embroidery. So the first thing I need to do is create an outline. So I'm going to go into edit. Notice there's a little flower icon. I'll touch that. And there's my outline. The problem that I have with this is there's a little too much open space here. I want to close those gaps just a little bit. So I'm going to go over to distance and the plus. Do you notice down here how those gaps are filling in? And I'm just going to keep going until I get a solid line underneath. There, that looks good to me. So you notice I've gotten rid of all those gaps and I just created a solid outline. So at this point, I'm going to put it into memory. And my machine even tells me where to go look for it. I'm going to go to my design center and I'm going to look for this icon. Now remember this icon, the circle with the square. Okay, so let's go out of here to my design center. Remember how we looked up the picture before. I'm going to go into wireless, choose the file that I'm in. There it is. I will set that. There's my background, but now I need to look for that outline I just created, right? Remember the circle with the square? I'm going to touch that. There's that little flower icon again. I'll touch that. There's my outline. I will choose whichever one I want. Choose OK. I'm going to get rid of the background so that you can see this. There's my outline. So I'm going to bring the picture back just a little bit. And now I am free to move my outline wherever I want. And I can use my finger, or I can go into size and use the arrows.
We remind you that face masks or shields are required while on the show floor. Please help us keep everyone safe.
There. That's pretty good. But now I need to create a square because I need to put a boundary in there. I don't want to quilt all around this. I just want to quilt within that little square. So I'm going to select a square. And I'm going to resize that so it's a little bit smaller. And I'm going to move it around till I get it right inside that square. There. Now my square is just inside. So now let's recap. So we chose an outline. We chose a square. I want to fill in right in between. So I've got my boundary set. I am free to put a fill pattern inside this area here. So let's go choose one. Now the one that I've selected is the one that comes up first. And that's right here. And I'll keep the color red, that's fine. Now I'm going to fill. Now I'm going to touch in between the outline and the square and watch the magic happen. That is amazing to me. That's absolutely amazing. But remember, we have a preview, so I can see what that's going to look like before I even stitch it out. If I don't like it, I can change it. Not a problem whatsoever. And there it is. Isn't that amazing? It took me longer to tell you how to do it than to actually do it. But let's just say, remember, we can resize this. So let's choose a smaller design or a smaller size. Watch how this fill pattern shrinks. See how the fill pattern is much smaller? So I can customize this to however I want. And that is exactly how I did this sample here. So the fill pattern is around the design, but not covering the design. Again, I'll show you from the back because it's easier to see. There's that open space with the fill pattern around it. And that's exactly how I did it here. So isn't that amazing? So the last thing I want to tell you is you don't just have to scan in like quilts or pictures or something like that. You can scan in fabric and create your own fabric. So quilters, your ears should be perked up right now. So this is a little girl's dress that I have. And on the bodice, it's all embroidered, right? This is embroidery fabric. I created this myself. So let me tell you how I did it. You notice that there is a striped fabric in the dress. I took a piece of fabric, the matching fabric, and put it in my hoop. I used my design snap and took a picture, sent that wirelessly over to my machine, and let me show you where that is and what we did with it. We'll go back to my design center. We'll go to image. There's my fabric. going to set it. Oh, you got to switch the camera there. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? I don't know. Where's Rob? Rob, where are you? Rob! We need our camera switched. Is he coming? I can't see him. Yeah. All right. I don't know how to switch the camera. Yeah. Sorry. That is, you can go to your Apple store or your Samsung store. It's a free download. You don't have to pay for it. Absolutely free. It's called My Design Snap. You just download it on your mobile device and you're all ready to go. Just make sure that My Design Snap or your mobile device and your Stellaire are on the same network. Okay. Just thank you. Make sure they're on the same network. Once they are, they'll talk to each other. We need the camera flipped, I guess.
Oh, what's that?
They need the camera flipped.
It's there now.
Oh, it's there now. Okay. All right. Awesome. Can you all see this? Okay. Sure. So yeah, I just put this in my hoop, took a picture of it using My Design Snap, pulled up the image after it wirelessly sent over to my machine, and I'm going to crop this now because I just want the fabric. I don't want the background. And that's good. That's all I need. We'll say okay. Now this will just take a minute because it's going to digitize. So it's taking my design, it's digitizing it, turning it into stitches, which then I can stitch out in my hoop. So that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, why I say quilters is quilters out. How many quilters are here, right? Of course, we're all quilters. How many times do you start a project and you go to your 300,000 pieces of fabric and you can't find the one that you want, right? Of course, that's usually my excuse to go shopping. But in this case, just find something that's close. Use your My Design Snap to take a picture of that fabric, bring it into your machine, fill your hoop, and wouldn't you have an incredibly gorgeous quilt where you can then cut out your squares, your triangles. So now you have a quilt that has your own embroidered fabric in it that you created. Wouldn't that be beautiful? So there it is. So there is my fabric in, it's not switched. There's my fabric as stitches. It has digitized it to stitches. So now I'm just going to set that. Choose next. I can preview this. And there's my fabric. So what I did is let me get rid of the background so you can see it better. That is now embroidery stitches. So I filled an entire hoop. I put my bodice pattern on top and cut it out. So the embroidered bodice is an exact representation of the fabric. So what started with fabric, I've now turned into embroidery. Isn't that cool? I just think that's the coolest thing. I'm sorry? Sure. And just so you know, I stitched this onto the same crepeback satin that's on the collar. And there's metallics and polyesters and all sorts of fun stuff in there. So let me show it on camera here so you can see it. I think I just used a water soluble on that because the satin was stable enough. So let me go ahead and hand that to you. You all can pass that around. I need to get that back if possible. I've been offered money for that. So I just want to say. So that's about all I have today. Just wanted to give you a little brief info on that. Again, my name is Jerry Granata. I'm a brother educator. If you have any other questions, I would love for you to come see me. The Stellaire is going to be right back here. Come and see me, and I can answer any questions you have. Or if you want to see the samples up closer, I'd love to show them to you. So thank you. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
All right, y'all. So that was another fantastic demo on the Stellaire XJ1 with Jerry Granata. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it was really informative. I love the things that Jerry does. He is, I believe he calls himself a rule breaker when it comes to quilting and crafting, and I love that. Just the way that he turn stuff out like that is so amazing. So you guys, we are running some awesome bundles with the XJ1, and I wanted to show those to you really quickly before we move on to our next presenter. So this is the XE1 and the XJ1. Now remember what Jerry said, the XE1. So that is really the only difference between these two models. The XJ1 does sewing and quilting, the XE1 and embroidery, and the XE1 is embroidery only. So these are fantastic machines. The largest area in a hoop, or I think the largest hoop that comes with this machine is 9.5 by 14 inches. It's huge. So you've got plenty of space to do plenty of things. It also comes with that wireless design database transfer, which is brand new, and also My Design Center on the actual machine with the touchscreen and the My Design Snap mobile app. Now, we had some people asking, yes, everything that he did will work on the Luminaire, just slightly differently, because you don't need like an iPod or something like that for the Luminaire. The Luminaire, I believe, just scans. It's got a built-in scanner, so that scans on its own. So these are the things that we are throwing in with the purchase of an XJ1 or an XE1. We are tossing all of this in with the purchase at the time of the Quilt Festival throughout this weekend. You can get 8 things free with this machine. So not only are we throwing in a rolling bag set, we are also throwing in a download code for 400 additional embroidery designs. We are throwing in a 32 gigabyte Apple iPod Touch. So if you want to take a picture, scan something in the hoop, that is the device that you can use to use it. So we're just throwing one in there for you. So you have everything you need straight out of the box in case you don't have an iPhone or a smartphone. Now, we're also throwing in a 24 color thread kit, so you can start embroidering right out of the box. You can use those, and that will give you everything you need to get started with a few designs. As per usual, we are a brother dealer, so we are going to give you a premium manufacturer warranty, 25 years, 6 years on electrical, and 2 years parts and labor. So that is something else we are throwing in. Again, we are throwing in free shipping throughout the contiguous US, in-store instructions. So if you are near one of our store locations, we will be able to help you out every step of the way with learning about this machine. And just like the XP2, we are throwing in 60 months, 0% APR financing. How exciting is that, you guys? So exciting. So let's go ahead and pull up our schedules. Oh wait, actually, totally forgot to tell you about this. We also have 2 different bundles. We have 2 different bundles for the XJ1 and the XE1. These are certain things that you can throw in with your purchase. Now, with the XJ1, you can throw in this bundle. It is the My Design Precision Artist Pen. So useful to have if you are planning on really designing stuff on that touchscreen. I cannot tell you how useful that is. We are also throwing in a Durkee cap frame, the 10 spool thread stand. So you have that and you can put it on the top of your machine. We are also throwing in the machine starter kit, 80 pre-wound bobbins. So you don't have to wind any bobbins for a hot minute when you get your machine. We're also throwing in another brother thread, a 6-pack of brother thread. We are throwing in Dimes embroidery compass, such a useful tool. I talked about it earlier with the XP2. We're also throwing it in with the XP2, but this thing is such a nifty, handy little cheat sheet for you. We are also throwing in 6 mini king spools of thread. So in total, you're getting 12 spools of thread with the XJ1, and then we're already throwing in 24 with the machine. So that's what, 36 spools of thread we are throwing in if you purchase the bundle and the XJ1 by itself. So we are throwing in also the Stabilizing for Embroidery DVD that will tell you a lot of things you need to know about embroidery and the right kinds of stabilizers to use in different situations. And we are also going to be throwing in some exquisite stabilizer samples. So you guys, that is so much thread, the bobbins, the cap frame, the tips, the tricks, everything that you need to get started. So get excited about that. We also have this XE1 bundle as well if you just want the embroidery only machine. We are throwing in the 9.5 by 9.5 hoop for the Stellaire, the 4x4 hoop for the Stellaire, along with the Durkee cap frame, the pen, the starter kit, the 10 spool thread stand, everything else that we had in the XJ1 bundle, but just 2 more hoops for you. Those are going to be the things that we are throwing in. just a little different from the XE1 and the XJ1. So you guys, we have so much more of the day to go. We have been streaming for about 3 hours now, so thank you all so very much for watching this far with us. Let's go ahead and take a look at our schedule for the rest of the day. So for the rest of the day, we just finished up with Jerry talking about the Stellaire XJ1. Now we are going to be going over to Coleen Swettman as she talks about Brothers PR multi-needle embroidery machine. So you've been seeing single needles all day, but we're going to be showing you some of the capabilities of Brothers multi-needle machines. They are so incredible and perfect. They're so great. I love them so, so much. And Coleen does a fantastic job demoing. Now, Nilda's wondering when this machine came out. The XJ1, I believe, came out in 2020. I believe. Cindy is wondering, can you just buy the bundle for the XE1? Cindy, I'm not entirely sure. I would recommend calling our customer service number and asking. That is 1-800-739-7374. Again, that is 1-800-739-7374. So now, you guys, I'm going to toss it over to the booth again. We are ready for Coleen. So let's bring on Coleen Swettman while she talks about Brothers multi-needle embroidery machines.
Am I ready? If I go back to my this, can you still hear me? If I put this on, this thing's scary. Can you still hear me? Not as good? I'm supposed to talk to you. Hi. Hi. He's got my mic on, but I switched from this mask to this mask, and so it changes the volume. So he's got to change. I just noticed your hair matches your shirt. Have fun. I like it when we have fun. All right, are we ready to go? All right. I'm going to put that down there for now. So, hello and greetings. I'm Coleen from Brother, and I'm here today to talk about the PR 1055X. X is for extra wonderful. So how many of you are familiar with the multi-needle machine? Several of you. Some newbies, you're not familiar with the multi-needle. So let me tell you the difference between a multi-needle and a single needle. The multi-needle is the crock pot of sewing. All right? So what you do, you should thread all 10 needles the first time, and the machine gets to the color number 2, and it goes, oh, I don't need her because I got that thread right here. And it just goes on. It's kind of the set it and forget it. It knows the design colors, it takes them, and it uses them. Now, this machine has something special beside that, and it has a program called My Design Center. And in My Design Center, you can draw, design, create anything you want to create. Now, I have limited talent, so I use coloring book drawings or graphics. But I want to show you my favorite trick. That's not my favorite trick. It's waking it up, yeah. So my favorite trick is to come down here to an icon that says My Design Center. And I'm going to touch it. And then I'm going to come to the other side because I can't do this. Here we go. Now watch this trick. I just wrote my name on the screen in my own handwriting with my very favorite finger. Are you ready? I'm going to touch Next, Set, okay. That is an embroidery design ready to stitch. I know that was hard, so please don't ask me to do it again. My Design Center. And then you can just draw anything you want. And isn't it cool to be able to do that in your own handwriting? Now, somewhere in this pile, I have a finished one in my own handwriting. Is that fun? All right, now think about signing your quilts, your quilt labels in your own handwriting. Can I make it wider? Oh, sure. I made this in a light stitch because I didn't want it to be overpowering. This is a satin stitch. And if you wanted it in a chain stitch or baked blanket, anything, you can have it. All right? Is that cool? All right, now, that was fun, but I've got something else we can do. So I'm just going to make a little pile here on there. We go. Now this fella, this is a scan mat. Now here again, we're talking about Miss No Talent, but I have people who can draw, or you can take a coloring book and you can take that graphic and you can put it on this scan mat. And you attach it to the machine, it scans it, and it pops that picture right up here into the screen. Now, do you need to see me or do it, or do you believe me? You believe me, okay. She believes me. Do y'all believe me? Okay. It'll pop this graphic right up here on the screen, and I can pop in colors. Now, when I've done that, as luck would have it, I've got a finished one to show you. So there's my little rabbit. Well, you aren't going to want to sit here and watch me stitch it. I'm pretty sure of that. Here's my little bunny with just a straight stitch outline and stippling. Pretty plain, pretty fast, but really fun for a coloring book quilt where the kids then color it with their magic markers. Here he is, filled all in, and a quilting background. Now there are 36 beautiful backgrounds built into the machine for your use. What if you wanted another one? Could you have it? Of course you could have it. You can either draw it and scan it in, or in our software, our PE Design 11, there's a place where you can draw in anything you want and it will use it exactly the way the machine uses it. So it's really a fun piece to have. And if after class you come over there, I'll show you one where I drew little cowboy boots and made little cowboy boot background quilting. So here he is with leaves, because the bunny's always in the garden, right? Here we have, on this side, it's a piece of fabric. And on this side, it's the embroidery file. So I literally put a piece of fabric on the embroidery mat. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The only thing I did not do is I did not stitch the white background because I didn't see the need for it because I was using white fabric. It's beautiful, isn't it? It has the ability to read colors and fill them in better than I do. Now this is a quilting border. The machine now has quilting sashings in it, but at the time I did this, it did not. So what it is I took this out of a coloring, or a book, a quilt book, and here it is stitched out. Now the cool part is the machine is smarter than I am, and it has the ability to automatically align these so they go on and match perfectly. Don't you love that word, perfectly? And the onboard camera facilitates that for you. So pretty exciting stuff. And I think I want to show you something on the screen now, because now the machine has the sashings. So I'm going to choose, these are 2 colors. There are 5 of them. And these are single colors, but there's 20 of them. Now, if I choose feathers, y'all want to do perfect feathers, right? Okay, me too. So I'm going to just touch feathers. And up comes a new screen, set. And now it wants to know the size of my quilt. Well, my quilt needs to be between 5 inches and 118 inches. So that's a pretty nice spectrum for you, isn't it? So I'm going to choose 100 inches. And for the side, I'm going to choose 90. I'm just choosing random numbers for a normal quilt size. And then it's going to tell me I can go up to 3.5 no, almost 4 inches. So I'm going to tell it 3.5 set. Now I've told it all the information it needs to know, except what hoop I'm going to use. Well, I'm going to use the biggest hoop I can find, right? So I'm just going to let it go with that, and I'm going to touch next. And there's what it's going to look like. The dots are just showing you there's pieces in between. So the corner, the sections, the corner. Now when I touch memory, it saves it right here into memory. Every time you hear the bell, that means the machine is going to a new happy home. Isn't that nice to hear? Yeah. Anything in our booth. So those are all Brother machines mostly, huh? Yeah, so a new Brother machine is going to a happy homeowner. All right, so here we go, and I'm going to choose it, and I'm going to touch. It's my fault I'm not used to this. So there's 2 modes. This mode right here says to the machine, I'm going to help you, and I'm going to hold your hand while we do this, and I'm going to show you how to match it up. That's the way I go. But some of you might like to choose this bottom method. It shows you each piece, and then you figure out where the piece goes. It's going to always be in order. Me, I like Miss Efficiency on the machine, so I'm going to touch right here, and it tells me I'm going to start in the upper left-hand corner, and I'm going to touch set, and it shows me how my hooped fabric should be. I should be in that upper left-hand corner, and it's going to stitch that. Now watch this. This is how precise this guy is. Okay, it shows me the corner. Okay, match that, and I don't have any fabric underneath here, but it wants me to match that fabric point right there with the corner of my fabric. And when you've got that done, you are ready to go. Is that amazing? It means that it's always perfect. You know, you're looking. Did you catch that? Well, I know what she's doing tonight when she gets home. She's going to be playing. And then it's just going to go ahead and it's going to be ready to stitch. So see, it's going to say, now you didn't get it quite straight at the corner. So straighten it up and it'll let you do that. So it's a pretty amazing program, I think, for all kinds of stuff. Did I take you all the way through? And I didn't. I'm going to show you one more thing here because I had to jump off track to show you that part. So I want to show you the tree of life. So here's the tree of life. Now, here it is in color. It's out of a coloring book. Remember, I got my talent from buying them at, no. And then this is in the black and white. Isn't that cool? When I flip it to the back side, there's not very many knots in there, is it? That's how good this machine is at pathing, at making the path single and perfect. That's how good that program is. It's better than the designs you buy sometimes, isn't it? Well, I made a mistake and I learned later from it. The reason there's knots right here, and I don't know if he can get close enough to let you see this, but we'll see. On right here, I've got 2 little circles and they're not attached to the limb. You see that? And little circles, little leaves and little circles. If I had taken a little magic marker and attached them, most of all those knots would have gone away. And I would have only had a knot at the beginning and the end of the 2 colors, 1 color. That, I mean, if you have questions about this, come see me when we're over there because I want you to see this in action. It's pretty amazing. And I'm going to go to my last one, my carousel pony, again from a coloring book. Here's the coloring book. Here she is in red work. And then there she is in colors. Isn't that amazing? I mean, how good am I? All right, let's set this aside because you've seen it. Now, I know that some of us, that'd be me, have trouble getting things straight or in the right place, correct? So the answer for this machine is, and I don't have a small hoop to show you on this because it's over there. I will have to use who? Yeah. Our hoops are on another machine doing something. So I'm going to borrow this hoop. This is a new hoop. This is called the flash magnetic frame. And you just pop the hoops off like this, the magnets off like this, and it holds it. Now, I'm not going to be able to put this on because I don't have the right arm over here for it, but I am going to show you the snowman. Maybe I'm not going to show you the snowman in this. Here we go. Okay. Come on, baby. This little fella didn't want to lay flat because he's too small of a shirt. He's real tiny. There we go. Now, see that snowman marker? See his belly button? That's what the machine looks for. And if I could put this one on, and I can't because I don't have the right arm for it, but I will show you after this class. The machine reads the snowman and it finds his belly button and it puts the design exactly on that. So you're never, ever going to make a mistake again. Now, none of you have on stripes. Y'all planned it that way so I wouldn't have to worry. Do you have a pocket on your shirt? Nope. So what happens is if you have a pocket or a design, she has a pocket, you put the snowman right above the pocket. The camera will find it and orient your design, even if you hooped it crooked. The snowman tells it where to go. Is that astounding? It is never, ever fail. So this is a new hoop that I brought out to show you. It is the flash magnetic frame. It has 4 magnets. You just pop on, pop off. And it's one of its biggest claims to fame is it can stay on the machine and you can stack an entire huge towel or quilt bag or anything like that up in here and nothing can fall out to get in the way of the needle. So that's a big, 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 big deal. So this guy is an important new frame that we have. So let's touch. Okay, she asked a good question. When the snowman goes to work and finds it, does it go with the center of the design or the beginning of the design? It goes where you want it to go. So you get to tell it, if I had the right hoop, which I'm sorry I don't, but they are all busy over there. You go to the beginning of the design and decide top, bottom, right, left, corner, wherever you want it to be lined up with. So if I need it above a pocket, I'm going to choose bottom. If I needed to keep it below a collar line, I'm going to choose top. So it depends on what you're doing, but that's a great question. And it does what you told it to do. So again, no goofs. All right, let's see what else we got in here. We're going to set that aside for a minute. I just brought this little tiny shirt over because y'all know how much fun that would be to do on your home machine, don't you? Wouldn't that be fun? Not, because where do you put all that fabric? All those little sleeves got to go someplace, and that back has got to go someplace. But with this, with all of it has to just come through the inside, and it's so much easier to put into place. So let's take another look here. Okay. This has resizing with recalculation of stitches. So I've just chosen a design, and I'm going to show you how to do this here. I'm going to take the kitty. Let's take the pumpkin. There we go. If I touch size, there's 2 boxes. Thank you. There's 2 boxes. One box has no stitches in it, and one box has stitches in it. The box that's empty means I'm going to size the pumpkin and not change any stitches. So I'm only going to be able to go down about 15% and up about 20%. The box with stitches in it means that it's going to be able to change it. And now I can go up 150% and down 50%. So I started with this kitty right here. I took it down to this size and up to this size. So that's a huge change in the size, but it's still perfect. And that's what's important. It's still perfect. Now, yes, it did change the stitch count on the machine. And the question I usually get is it only designs from the machine? And guess what that answer is? Nope, it's not just designs on the machine. It's most designs. So that's pretty exciting. Let me see what else I have down here. Oh, grandchild's handwriting on a pillowcase. Don't you know they love that? Isn't that fun? Okay, you just put that on the scan mat and stitch it out. All right, what else have we got? Sometimes it's easier to do an applique. Sometimes you don't want anything around it. So what you can do is I've got little Mr. Pumpkin up here. And right here is my applique icon. So I can size him, rotate him, flip him, change his density. This would make him into patches. So if you needed patches, this would copy and paste him. I don't need to, so I'm going to get rid of him. This would align him, and this will turn him into an applique. So sometimes you want to use an applique on a child's garment. I used appliques because I don't want as much stitching on the back side. I only want that outline stitching. And my father had very, very fragile skin from being burned. So I always did his with just an applique so there was no stitching on the back side. Isn't that cool? It was hard to do though, wasn't it? No, not too hard. So that was kind of a fun thing. It's right on the screen. Now let's go to the next one. Rotate auto-based. We talked about the snowman because he is my best friend. I cannot hoop straight to save my soul. So that's why I love him. Color sort and single color. Now, I showed you that flash magnetic frame. That's a heavy canvas bag, and all of this canvas pleated in to the top frame of that frame. Is that cool? So you have it under control. So that's a fun thing. I'm caught in my thing. Now what I forgot, what I brought over to show you is how to do a pocket. And I don't have a 4x4 frame, so I'm in big trouble here. I can't show you, so I'm hoping you'll come visit me and let me show you over there. I just didn't have one left because they're all in action. But when you're doing something like this little backpack, these are great. You can just slide your stabilizer inside, and that keeps the integrity of the backpack itself, keeps the water resistance, the waterproofness of it. Does that make sense? So you can do that on certain things without having to endanger the water resistance level of it. So let me see if I can get Miss Margie's attention. I thought I had a 4x4 hoop on here, and I do not. Margie, do you have a 4x4? Is there a 4x4 over there? We have just been running this morning to try to keep up with the world. And so she's going to look to grab me a frame, and then I'll hoop the other bag. I've got a bag. Any questions about anything we've talked about? No? Any questions about what them? Yes. Do I have the projector? Yes. Yeah. There's a, yes. It's a little bit different. It's not a true projector, it's a camera. The camera is going to bring the design up. There we go. Thank you. Okay. So he's unloading my mess. So this is from my next class. Did he just move my bag? He's trying to tidy for the next class. And where did my bag? There it is. Sorry. He's more organized than I am. He's more, look, can I use that real quick for hooping? Yeah. And then I'll get out of your way. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah, no, I understand. I get it. I get it. So here's what happens. We have no minutes to change between our time. We each are doing a 30-minute demo. Well, we got to change between now and the next demo, right? So that's why he's trying to stay ahead of the game. So I just hooped this in my 4x4. I'm going to slide this arm down to make it fit the 4x4 because this adjustable arm. While I'm talking, I'm going to tell you what comes with it. So it comes with the machine, 4 different hoops, the 1x2.5, 4x4, 5x7, and 8x14 are all included. Then it comes with the scan mat. There we go. Now we're cooking. It comes with the scan mat. There we go. And see how it's a free arm? The bottom part of this bag is hanging out the way. We're just going to go here and touch home. And let's choose a nice B for brother. And set it. And I'm going to shrink it down to, no, I'm not. I'm shrink it. Yeah, I'll leave it. And it's going to be in the center. So I'm just going to tell it to go ahead and edit end. And I'm going to tell it to embroider. And I'm going to tell it, what color do I want? 8. So I'm just going to switch it here and tell it to go to number 8. Okay. And lock and go. And it's going to stitch. So the beauty of this machine is that it can stitch on just about anything because you can do pockets, you can do sleeves, you can do pant legs. I have boots and shoes and I have all kinds of things. It comes with the 4 sizes of hoops, so you have a lot, but there are additional hoops that you can get for it that would even increase the ability. Like I said, I have the shoe clamp, so I can do shoes. That's really fun. So I use it for shoes. I use the shoe clamp on shoes and purses. It'll do leather bags, which was really handy. It's at 1,000 stitches per minute right now. And it goes between 400 and 1,000 stitches per minute. And it's a variable speed. You're going to hear it speed up. It's kind of like a fine race car driver. On the straightaway, they're going faster. When they come into the curves, it slows down so it can maintain that perfect stitch. It's not a dummy. Yes. A standard organ needle. And it comes with needles. 7511. It comes with needles. It comes with a toolkit. And the toolkit, here we go. The toolkit has a needle placement tool for you to make it easier to hold those needles because they are skinny little devils. It comes with all kinds of things, extra bobbins. Brother pretty much just sets you up so that you are good to go for that first. Oh, she's done. See her flash at me? She flashes when she's done or when she needs help. So if she runs out of thread or out of bobbin thread or something, she'll flash at me to let me know. And there is an app, and the app is included free. And the app is called My Stitch Monitor. So in my house, she's upstairs. If I go down to the kitchen to get a cup of coffee and she runs out of bobbin thread, I get a message on my phone. I'm out of bobbin thread. Okay, I'm coming. So questions? Well, I'm not going to holler out how much it costs here, but if you're interested in how much it costs, come see me across the aisle. We're just going to get this out of the way so the next one can come up, because we have another class coming up. So thank you for joining us. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. This is the Brother PR 1055X.
All right, y'all. So that was Coleen Swettman demonstrating, like she just said, on the PR 1055X, Brothers' newest 10 needle machine. This one came out, I believe, in 2020. This was a new for 2021 machine, if I am not mistaken. A really, really fantastic 10 needle machine. Definitely recommend. I would absolutely recommend looking into that if you have not just yet. You guys, we are also running some really fantastic deals on this PR 1055X. I'm going to go ahead and pull up that flyer for you so you can take a look at what we've got for the 1055. So this is the 1055X, the Entrepreneur Pro. This machine was new for 2021. Okay, I was right. So great. So we are throwing in 7 things with this machine. Now, as Coleen already said, it's got a pretty wide embroidery area. It's 8 by 14, I think, is the hoop that it comes with. And it's got that awesome My Design Center. It's got enhanced sashing. So you can quilt on your 10 needle. That is definitely a thing that you can do. And it's awesome. So we are throwing in almost $4,000 in extra value when you purchase this machine during the festival weekend. So we are throwing in that new stand. This new stand that comes with this machine is already pretty pricey. So we are throwing that in for free when you purchase this machine. We are also throwing in BES4. If you are curious about BES4, we have plenty of information about that. I believe Cindy talked about it yesterday. So if you missed that, feel free to hop in there and take a look. We are also throwing in the new ScanNCut SDX 225 with the purchase of this 10 needle. So that is also something we are throwing in there as well. We are also offering in-store instruction at all of our AllBrands locations. If you are nearby one of our locations and you purchase, come in the store. We will show you exactly how this machine works. We're not going to leave you empty-handed as far as education goes. We are also giving you free shipping throughout the contiguous U.S. If you purchase this machine this festival weekend. And also, as per usual, your local brother dealers, premium manufacturer warranty, full warranty, service, repairs, and support. That warranty is fantastic. Awesome stuff. And we are also throwing in that 60 months. We are offering that 60-month 0% APR financing with this purchase of this machine for this weekend. So you guys, again, like I said, these are the lowest prices of the year. Once they are gone, once these prices are done, these are done. So if you have ever considered purchasing a 1055X or any of the other amazing brother machines, any of them, single needle, multi-needle, whatever, please check out our store locations. Head on over to one of our store locations. These are all 6 of our stores. The New Orleans store is still unfortunately closed due to Hurricane Ida damage, but should be opening back up next week. But everywhere else on this slide is open. So please come visit us if you are nearby. And if you're not, but you're still interested, please give us a call at our 1-800 number. That is 1-800-739-7374. Again, one more time, that is 1-800-739-7374 for pricing and information. We've got customer service reps on the line, and they will be able to give you any information about your machine and special show pricing or any other information or questions you may have. They will be able to give that to you or answer your questions. So let's take a look at our schedule one more time. We'll see what else we've got coming up for today. So we just finished up with Coleen Swettman. Unfortunately, Monica Cavanaugh cannot join us today. So instead of Monica, we will be doing a Laurastar demonstration with Annie Smith, a native Texan who will be showing us the way that she uses Laurastar irons with her quilting and her crafting, her craftsmanship. It has been an instrumental piece of equipment for her. So I'm excited for you guys to see that. Then after that, we've got Jerry Granata, and we've got plenty more stuff after. But again, I did just want to point out to you guys, after this Laurastar demo, we will be going dark on this broadcast. That doesn't mean we're ending for the day. We are not finishing up for the day after Laurastar. We are going to keep going. We are just going to be switching over to a new broadcast. So I'm going to put those links in the chat whenever we finish up. And so that way you can go ahead and hop over there. But with all that said, let's go ahead and cut back over to the booth, and we have Annie ready for us.
I am on now. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the International Quilt Festival in Houston, Texas. I'm Annie Smith, and I am a Laurastar ambassador, and I am here today to tell you about how much I love the Laurastar ironing system. I just love it. And I love it as both a user. I love wearing cotton clothing, and cotton always needs to be pressed or ironed at any time. And I also am a garment sewer, so I sew my own clothes. And of course, first and foremost, I'm a quilter, and so I am a Laurastar user and enthusiast. I just love the Laurastar system. And so I'm here today to share with you a few of the reasons why I love this system so much. First of all, the steam system is absolutely fantastic. So it's a cool steam system so that when you move your pieces or you're done ironing them, they're not wet. And the creasing ability of the iron and just the system itself is just wonderful, especially for, I am a professional quilter. And so that means that I design my own quilts and I travel around the country to share my quilts and teach people how to do what I do. So all of my quilts are always folded in suitcases, and I always have these horrific creases in my quilts that when I go to a show like this, when I try to hang them up, they have creases all over them and they look terrible. But also, I hang my quilts in my home as my art because quilts are art, right? So I don't want to hang them on the wall and have creases on them because then they look terrible. So first, the wonderful thing that I love about the Laurastar is that I take my quilts and I put them face down on the board. And then the steaming ability of the Laurastar is just absolutely amazing. It's a very fine mist that, like I said, when you use the steam, it's dry when it's done. And so your quilt does not remain wet. And so regardless of what kind of quilt it is, I can press this quilt and take out all of the creases so it's nice and flat. Because my quilts basically live in a suitcase, okay? And so you can see what it looks like on the back up here, but also on the back up here. So let me go ahead and quickly press the whole thing and you'll be able to see the difference. And the lovely thing about the Laurastar, did you see that the ironing board raised up as I picked up the iron? And so what it does is when the ironing board cover raises up, it blows air up so that if there are any creases on the front, it will not transfer that to the front, okay? Especially if there are creases that you don't want. And that's another reason why I love this system. But also, when I'm done putting the binding on my quilts, I am a person who puts the binding on by machine, and then I flip it over to the back and hand piece it or hand stitch it. And whenever I put binding on a quilt, I always press it on the iron first. And so basically what I do is I iron this so that it's flat and it just goes over the front of my quilt so smoothly that it's just a beautiful finish. And it helps me to actually press or hand stitch the back of my binding better. Okay, so that's what it looks like when it's done. And it's perfectly flat, right? With no creases. And that's what makes this so beautiful. Well, then, so again, because I'm a quilter, what do you do about these folded fabrics that you buy that have all the folds and creases in them, especially if you want to be able to cut them quickly. So here's what I do. I open them up on the ironing board and see, look, of course, that's what they look like, and that's going to stay. And there's no way to be able to lay a ruler down and cut this with the rotary cutter without getting odd edges on it if you don't press it flat. Well, what the Laurastar does that other traditional irons do not do, so let me get these all together here, is that it will go through 8 layers of fat quarters or any other fabric that you're trying to press, and it will steam all the way through all of those 8 layers, so that when you're done, you can take all the layers over to your cutting mat and cut them all at the same time with the shapes that you want. So let me just do this last one. And that's another reason why I love the Laurastar system, is because the steam really does penetrate through all of those layers. And here's a quilting hint. When you press your fabrics all together like this, and they're totally flat, you can take them and cut them all at the same time, and your fabric does not slip as you're cutting. And so your cutting is accurate. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I could take this and just lay it down on my mat. Okay, and then that is what it looks like on the back. And when you press them together, they stay together so they can be cut and not slip. Isn't that a great idea? I love this part too. And then, like I said, I love wearing cotton clothes. I love natural fibers. And so I do my own sewing, but I also use the Laurastar for household ironing as well. And again, the great part about the Laurastar, you can either use it with the fan on that blows up the ironing board cover and helps not to put additional creases in your clothing, or you can just use it flat and it works just like a regular ironing board as far as ironing is concerned. But I really love the fact that this ironing board cover raises, because it helps me press things so that they are so much flatter, and there are no, whenever I iron clothes on a traditional iron and ironing board, I always get creases in there that I don't want. But with the Laurastar, I never do. So, complicated things like shirts that have sleeves and collars and things, look at how lovely that looks. And it presses just so beautifully. And, part of it is the steam system, and the other part is that the cover raises up. So do you have any questions about the system? Oh, one of the things that it has too is this tank system on below the board, which you can fill with regular tap water. You don't need a special water to put in it. And so you can iron for a long, long time before the well is empty. But there are indicator lights on the panel that tell you and blink when your water's getting empty. And so, and it's super easy to maneuver and fill the tank for water. But also, the thing that I love about this board is that it folds up very easily, and it's on wheels. So you can wheel it into a closet or behind a door or wherever you keep your Laurastar ironing system. Excuse me? Yes. Yeah. And there's a little well right here where the iron, when it's not in use, fits right in. And this is a really great little stand for your iron, so you keep it face down and so that it doesn't burn anything. It does automatically shut off if it's not used for a period of time. Yeah. And what else can I tell you about this marvelous thing? I just love it. All right. So does anybody online have any comments that I can answer for them? So this is a fantastic ironing system for both quilting and for garment construction, because I still make my own clothes and I love to wear natural fibers. And so I use this for home ironing and for garment sewing. And it makes fantastic flat seams. And do you see that this is blowing up? The top of the ironing board cover raises up. See, it's gone back down again. But there's a fan system in here that raises the ironing board cover so that you don't press creases into whatever it is you're ironing. Excuse me? Yes, it's underneath the ironing board. The fan is right underneath here. Yeah, it's very cool. Yes, you do, because it's all attached. Oh, okay. So do you have to have the ironing board in order to use the iron? And the answer is yes, because they're all connected. And so, you know, the tank that holds the water is a part of it. And then the fan that blows up the ironing board cover is right underneath here. And that's what blows it up. And then the iron is attached. So the answer is yes. But Philip, you have a portable one. And so can you talk about that?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Okay. I think you want to come up here and get a mic. So Philip's going to run and go and get the portable one, because there is a portable one that doesn't use the ironing board. But see, look at how beautiful that is.
2 years.
Okay.
So this is the portable.
Okay.
This is the portable version where you have your own ironing board at home or your wool pressing mat. And it's obviously a little less expensive. They start at $650. They have the same quality of steam. They also have the 2-year warranty. They have the same ergonomic design of the iron. It's just a little bit, it's a smaller, more compact, but really, really great for steaming around your house. And a lot of people actually use it as a steamer. What you obviously don't have is the big benefit of the active board that Annie was talking about, that helps you either blow up the fabric or suck it down.
Right. Okay. And Philip, what are some of the other advantages to having the ironing board blow up?
So what I really like is what you showed also on the shirt. You know, rather than actually ironing those wrinkles into your fabric, it helps you to prevent or be more efficient when you iron your clothing. Another big benefit is also for if you have batting, for example, you know, to steam over that without touching the fabric. It creates this air cushion. And then, of course, when it sucks down, and I don't know if you said that, but really to suck the steam through all multiple layers of fabric to really, you know, you can fold multiple layers of fabric together, or if you have thicker denim or something like that, it really allows you to be much more efficient than with a regular iron. So that's a big benefit of the active board. And it's also, you know, like it has these beautiful lines on here that help you to place fabric on it and you know, block and square them up. So I think that's also a big benefit.
Right. Okay. So also with the ironing board cover that raises, okay, that is also a benefit to different types of fabric, like silk or knits or whatever. So can you talk about that a little bit?
So obviously, depending on what kind of fabric you use and if it's a little bit more delicate, like as I said, batting, for example, is very delicate. You cannot touch it with the hot iron. You can kind of like hover over and just steam it. Same is with silk. You know, I always do a demo with a silk shirt. It just blows it up. I have to just hover over, and the fan blows it kind of like up, and I can just go over rather than like pushing into it and making any marks on it.
Right.
But the good thing is obviously also with Laurastar, every Laurastar comes with a protective sole plate, and I don't know if you also use this at home.
Yes.
But this is really great to reduce the heat. You still have the steam on your iron, but you can really go on any type of delicate fabrics, and yeah, this is really a great add-on. It comes equipped with every Laurastar.
Okay, and can you also show them how you put the plate on?
Yeah, it just snaps out like this, and you still have the steam. If you're done with the just take it off, so you don't have to like wait and dial anything in till it cool down or heat it up. Just snap it on, snap it off, and you're done.
Right, and there's a little hook that makes it hook on the side of the ironing board.
It always stays here next to your iron if you wanted to. It's all very well thought through. Swiss engineering, as you know.
Yes.
It folds together. It's very easily collapsible. We're going to roll it off the stage now, and it's really, really easy to set up and also maintain.
Right, right.
Okay, thank you very much for your attention. Hopefully you learned a few things, and if you want to know more about the products, come check out the booth here or visit your local sewing shop.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Annie.
Thank you so much.
All right, you guys. That was another demonstration from Laurastar on their irons. And I did want to point out, a lot of these tips can translate over to so many different places. Obviously, you know, us garment sewers, we might have some trouble ironing, you know, something like silk or something like that. But a lot of these tips do work really well for quilt batting, multiple layers of fabric, if that is something that you need to iron out very easily. And Larry says, yes, this would be a huge time saver if you had a long arm business. Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I love these machines, or I love these irons, because not only are they incredibly well made, but they are very versatile. You can do a ton with just this iron or just this board. It doesn't just have to be clothes. It doesn't. I love that. I love that so very much. So I did want to tell all of you in the chat right now that we are going to be hopping over to different streams. We are going to be hopping over at 2:30, or we should be hopping over there pretty soon. So let me go ahead and put the links to the other videos in the chat right now. This is the link for Facebook, so all my Facebook watchers can join us at that link, and all of my YouTube watchers can join us over at this link. We are going to be hopping over there very shortly. Coverage is not ending. We just need to hop over to another video. We're going to make it a little bit more digestible for you all to watch later once the festival has ended. So again, thank you all so very much for joining us this morning. Hop on over there, comment, let us know you're there. Let us know that you're watching, or you're ready to start watching over there. And we will see you very soon. Let's take a look at our schedule really quickly, just so we don't see what we're missing. So we are going to join back up again on that other stream with Jerry Granata, and then we are going to move on over to Kate Quinn showing us some awesome Sew Steady ruler work. It's going to be fantastic. We've got Wendy Chow coming back again with another Quilt Club demonstration, and then Cindy Hogan, Becky Thompson from Power Tools with Thread. I know you guys have been waiting for her, and Angela Wolf with the Luminaire XP2, which will be showing you some more on that machine. So don't miss it. Do not miss out. We are going to go ahead and end our stream here. Let's see. So we're going to end our stream here. And then we will see you all very, very soon. Probably in about 5 minutes, we're going to go ahead and get started. But comment there, let us know that you're watching, and let us know where you're watching from and what sort of projects you're working on right now. I love knowing that. So we'll say hi to some people in the chat when we hop on over to the next video. So you guys, this is us signing off of this video. We will see you again on our other stream, which is linked below. All right, see you then.